Gee whiz,
Good
okay.
morning. Jane just said the word judo, and that was the first thing that came to my mind. Good morning, Expresso fam. As we know, it is the Commonwealth Games, and we're so excited to be celebrating. I thought it was judo, but it's judoka.
The judokas, the guys who are partaking, the incredible exponents of this martial art. Margaret Freitas and Zach Pride are going to, put us through our paces a little bit. No, they're going to demonstrate the speed, the skill, the precision, the incredible transferal of energy in one of the world's most exciting martial arts, and of course all in light of what's going down in Glasgow this weekend. It's massive.
It's huge.
Team South Africa are really doing so well in the water. Let's hope that transfers to the mats.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to see that all play out. And then of course, celebrating National Savings Month, Carla Fenter joins us once again to explain why paying yourself first is one of the simplest and smartest ways to start building long-term wealth.
And what does that look like? How do we embrace the emotional side of that journey? Because we know money comes with the emotional baggage this morning, but we're going to give you practical tools so you can jump right in. And then, of course, joining us in Josie, the one and only Ayanda G. Tabete. Good morning, my friend. How are you doing?
Morning, gorgeous.
Oh, hello. It feels so good to be here. The kids of today on TikTok keep talking about saxophones, and I'm hearing them in a great way. In Johannesburg, it's going to be an exceptional day. The internationally acclaimed Ndlovu Youth Choir joins us as musical director and co-founder Ralph Schmidt, alongside team leader Usandile Matola, shares more about a celebration of Africa, a spectacular production celebrating the music, culture and spirit of our continent. It's going to be absolutely amazing. We'll be dancing this side. I hope you'll be joining us that side. Over to you, Carissa, for today's news.
Well, thank you so much, beautiful. 2 minutes after 6 o'clock. You're right. Let's get straight into your national news headlines, where Major General Lunto Dianchis has been appointed as the new Western Cape's new Provincial Police Commissioner, succeeding Tembisile Patekile, who retired last month. Now, he assumes the role as the province battles escalating gang violence and a spate of deadly shootings, and that includes 11 killings across Cape Town just last weekend. Now, Dianchi brings extensive policing experience, having served as a station commander, cluster commander, and provincial head of crime prevention in both the Eastern and the Western Cape. Now, National Police leadership says tackling violent crime will be among his most urgent priorities. Moving to KwaZulu-Natal now, where authorities are closely monitoring roads as snowfall affects the Drakensberg and severe weather threatens part of the province. Our transport teams are on standby to clear snow before dangerous buildups occur, while officials are keeping a close watch on the N3 at Vanadienen Pass. Now, the South African Weather Service has warned of disruptive snow and heavy rain, raising the risk of flooding, road closures, as well as damage to infrastructure. Emergency accommodation has also been prepared, and that's for families who may be displaced by the flooding. Taking a look at your international news making headlines now, with Egyptian authorities that have launched an investigation after a suspected drone strike sparked explosions and fire at the Demeter LNG terminal on the Mediterranean coast. Now, the blaze, which broke out aboard the U.S.-owned floating storage vessel Inigos Winter during cargo operations, spread to a nearby gas tanker before being brought under control. All crew members were safely evacuated and no injuries were reported. Now, the affected vessels have since been moved from the terminal, while investigators work to establish the exact circumstances surrounding the blast. At the moment, no group has claimed responsibility. In other news, 2 Greek firefighters have died after becoming trapped while battling a fast-moving wildfire near Retemno on the island of Crete, where strong winds have forced the evacuation of several villages. Now, wildfires are also burning in Turkey, Spain and France as an intense heatwave grips southern Europe. Spanish authorities say the country's largest recorded wildfire, west of Madrid, remains a major concern despite improved conditions, while French crews continue to fight a massive blaze near Bordeaux. Officials warn high temperatures and gusting winds could trigger further flare-ups. Now, for your first bit of news, let's close off on this note with South African luxury fashion house Lanxhosa Africa, who's set to showcase its latest collection at Paris Fashion Week. And that goes down on the 28th of September, marking another proud milestone for local design. Now, founded by Ladumo Okolo in 2010, the internationally acclaimed brand is celebrated for its contemporary knitwear inspired by traditional Xhosa beadwork as well as culture. Proudly manufactured in Africa using local resources, Xhosa Africa has become a powerful ambassador for African creativity, but also craftsmanship. Now, the Paris Showcase is expected to place South African fashion in the global spotlight once again, proving that homegrown talent continues to inspire, innovate, and turn heads on the world's biggest runways. Well, a huge congratulations to them flying that South African flag so high. Let's see if the same carries across the world of sports with Gray.
Oh, yes, my friend, with that kind of inspiration, and go and check out the Xhosa SA flagship store up in Sandton if you can. Just magical. But right now, we're going to continue with the national pride as, well, he's done it again. Our golden boy is even more golden. South African swimmer Chad Leclos has become the most decorated athlete in Commonwealth Games history. Incredible. Leclos won a record 21st Commonwealth Games medal after helping South Africa claim bronze in the men's 4x100-meter medley relay. That podium finish now moving Leclos past the legendary Australian swimmer Emma McKeon's previous record of 20 medals. Congratulations to him and Team SA. We know it's a group effort out there. Now we get back into WAFCON lane as, the football did not disappoint yesterday. Ghana and Cameroon both opened their Women's African Cup of Nations campaigns with some solid victories in their Group D yesterday. So Ghana beat tournament debutants Cape Verde 2-0, while Cameroon, they edged Mali 2-1 in a very closely contested encounter. Then tonight, round 2 gets underway as Senegal face off against Kenya. That should be a cracker. And then host Morocco looking very strong. They take on Algeria. And then, of course, Banyana take on Cote d'Ivoire tomorrow night at 7. So the clock is ticking for that one. Now, speaking of a ticking clock, let's look at the broader perspective of football right now as FIFA have officially opened disciplinary proceedings against the Argentine Football Association. That over the behavior of Argentina's players, their officials and supporters during this year's World Cup. Now, the investigation includes allegations of team misconduct, unsporting behavior, discrimination and breaches of order and security at matches themselves. And obviously, the scenes that unfolded after that final that Spain won paint a very vivid picture. But FIFA has not yet confirmed what sanctions, if any, could be imposed. Now, let's look at the flip side of the Brazilian journey. And this one might have you falling off your chair because we thought he still had a few more years in him. Brazilian superstar Neymar has announced his retirement from international football. The 34-year-old ends his international career as Brazil's all-time leading men's goal scorer. What an honour to hold 80 goals in 130 appearances. Neymar very proudly represented Brazil at 4 consecutive FIFA World Cups as well and won Olympic gold in Rio in 2016. An incredible mark for both club and country. And that's where we leave our sport for now, albeit we're going to stay in the Commonwealth Games lane and we're going to get into some judo in just a moment. Unbelievable mastery of skills there. But right now, let's help you master your day and see what the weather has in store.
Well, thank you so much, G-Man. Let's dive straight into it, starting off with our first stop, Polokwane. Now, out in Polokwane, mostly sunny skies will take over your skies today. Temperatures start from a low of 6 degrees, but that does increase to a beautiful high of 24. Now, looking ahead, sunny skies continue to dominate with some passing clouds, and tomorrow's daytimes peaking at 21, as well as on Saturday. That brings us over to Klerksdorp, where taking over your day will be mostly sunny skies today. A cold start, though, of 2 degrees, but that warms up quite nicely to 22. Now, you can expect temperatures for the coming days to settle at 22 degrees from Friday through to Sunday, and no rain in sight. Into Pretoria we go, where it's looking like a bright and also a sunny day ahead. Temperatures ranging between a minimum of 7 and a max sitting at 22 degrees. Sunful days, though, are here to stay, with daytime highs peaking at 21 degrees on Friday and Saturday, and then increasing slightly by Sunday. Out in Johannesburg, plenty of sunshine is expected from the morning through to the evening today. A cold start, though, of 4 degrees, but that warms up to 20 as the day develops. As we look into the week, sunny skies define your days, with daytime highs settling in those upper teens throughout until Sunday. Mbombela, on your side, today's forecast calls for mostly sunny skies. Now your temperatures will climb from a chilly 11 to double up to a high of 20 degrees. Now tomorrow sees temperatures moving from a low of 7 and that rises to a high of 21 on both Friday and Saturday. In the beautiful Bloemfontein, morning showers are expected before skies begin to clear. Temperatures sit between a freezing -1 degrees and a high sitting at 17. Now you can expect sunny skies to continue on heading towards the weekend with cool to pleasant temperatures, nothing exceeding 20 degrees. Out in Richards Bay on this Thursday, scattered showers are forecast at 40% throughout your day. Temperatures will range between 14 and 21 degrees. Now, cloudy and wet conditions will continue on in the coming days with rain chances averaging around 33% for the week. All right, Durban, your turn next. You can expect some rain chanced at 25%. That will be accompanied by noticeable southwesterly winds. As for your temperatures, they'll move between 14 and 21. Now, tomorrow's forecast calls for partly cloudy skies with humid conditions and rain chanced at 25%. And then out in Mthatha, rain can be expected today, forecast at just 10%. 4 degrees is how you get started, and that does increase and rise to a high of 15. As for the coming days, it does bring you sunny skies with lingering clouds, while daytime highs move between 16 and 21 degrees. Uba, on your side, it's all about those morning clouds that will give way to some afternoon sunshine. A chilly start of 1 degree, but that warms up to a high of 17. Now, sun-filled skies are set for tomorrow with temperatures remaining pleasantly cool, reaching that high sitting at 18 degrees. Up next, Kugompo City. Now, your Thursday ushers in rain chanced at 25% under some cloudy skies. Temperatures, well, they'll range between a brisk 9 to a high of 18 degrees. And as the day does progress, partly cloudy skies will turn sunny, clear of any rain. Now, your temperatures will hold up steady into the weekend. Ebeja in GQ, partly cloudy skies are on the cards for you today. Temperatures will start at a low of 9, but that does increase to that high sitting at 19 degrees. Now, there will be a mix of sunny and light cloudy conditions that are set for the coming days, with tomorrow's temperatures rising from a low of 9 to a high of 20. Good morning, gorgeous George. Mostly sunny skies will define your day today. Temperatures ranging between 7 and a high of 18. As for tomorrow, it does bring partly cloudy skies with daytime highs sitting at 19 degrees, which definitely is getting a little bit warmer into the weekend. And then out in Cape Town, you can expect a bright and sunshine-filled day that lies ahead, definitely welcomed. Your temperatures will sit between 11 and 21 degrees. Now, sunny skies will turn cloudy by tomorrow, heading into the weekend, with temperatures maxing at 22 degrees throughout. And then out in Sutherland, partly cloudy conditions are expected across your region today. Your temperatures will range from a biting 1 degree to that daytime high sitting at 16. Now, looking into the week, cloudy conditions take over the coming days, with daytime highs ranging in those upper teens. And that brings us to Kimberley, where skies are set to remain mostly sunny throughout your day. Your temperatures, well, they'll range between 1 and 19. And then sunny skies are set to dominate the remainder of the week, with warm temperatures and humid conditions continuing on throughout. And that final stop, let's pull up in Uppington. Out in Uppies, a good deal of sunshine is forecast for this Thursday. Expect a chilly start though, a low of 3 degrees, but that warms up to a high sitting at 24. Now, sunny skies define the days ahead, clear of rain, with tomorrow's temperatures ranging from a low of 3 to that high sitting at 25 and peaking at 27 over the weekend. All right, we've rushed to the sunrise view of this hour, definitely with good intention, because Charmaine Blackburn out in Westville, KZN, shared this beautiful sunrise view with us. Cotton candy skies, absolutely, with that slow burn, or pre-burn as Raul would call it, meeting the horizon. The gorgeous silhouette of the trees, letting us know that one day the seasons will change, and maybe that tree will be filled with leaves. For now, though, we're enjoying the last bits of winter. 20 degrees is what you can expect on your side, and thank you, Charmaine. Out in Westville, you will enjoy your day for sure. That's where we leave it for now. We'll check in again at 7 o'clock. Here's that number once more, 063-0369649. Let us know what it's looking like on your side as we get into another gorgeous morning view. And that is, of course, Ayanda G. Tebete holding it down out in Jozi.
Those sunsets are absolutely beautiful. We love to see those pictures coming in. Now, for this morning's post, happy World Friendship Day to everybody out there. To celebrate, tell us about your oldest friend, where you met, and how long ago. Share your besties' shout-outs with us via voice notes on 063-036-9649. Don't forget to use our hashtag Expresso Show. And while I have the chance to my bestie, Nandi Buwane, happy World Friendship Day. Love you loads. Back to you, Cape Town.
We love you. Besties out in Joburg.
Do you know what? Can I tell you something? I felt this as my friend, as my very good friend. As I was saying, my son got all tearful because he didn't have Granny to put him to bed the other night. And I'm like, but what is it about Granny that makes it just so special? She's so nice to me, he says with tears in his eyes, because Granny is so nice. You know what? You are so nice to me every day, and it actually makes my day. I can't tell you how cool it is to start your day with that energy. So phone your mates.
Please.
Let them know how much you love them and you care about them. And remember those best friends, those friends that go the distance. As much as things change, your relationship doesn't. You're supposed to be able to grow apart, come together, and that's the mark of true friendship. So just connect. Whatever baggage you think you're carrying, let them know how much you love them.
Yeah, leave the baggage for today. Just send out all the love. Jade, to my bestie, I love you. And thank you for being the queen that you absolutely are. We're going to take a quick break and then we get back for some more judo kindness. So Graham says you've got to use your opponent's weight. And now I'm trying to figure out
a lot of body weight
how to throw you across the room.
No, but that's what you do. In judo, you can take all of the size, the strength of your opponent and turn it against them. We'll find out how after this.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. The 2026 Commonwealth Games in full swing. Team South Africa having a lovely time at the moment. This weekend it gets quite tense though. South Africa's judo team will be stepping onto the mats in Glasgow.
Oh my gosh, anticipation is high. Now, judo is a sport built on speed and power, but also balance and split-second decision-making, where a single throw can in fact end a contestant in an instant. I think a contest, not a contestant.
Well, hopefully. I mean, out in the street, we don't know, but there are very practical applications to this martial art, and we cannot wait to do a little deep dive this
That's
morning.
right.
South African judo athletes, or judokas, are here joining us this morning. Marco de Freitas and Zach Pride, who are here to show us, yes, what makes judo a fascinating discipline to learn, and explain some of the skill behind it, and tell us why Team South Africa definitely are one to watch. Guys, thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Resplendent in white. So do you call it a gi as well?
Yes, it's a judo gi.
A judo gi. Well, you guys look
Incredible.
amazing.
Okay, so I had to correct myself because we're not ending contestants. We're not ending lives. We're ending the contest, the game.
We're ending the moment.
So please, for those people like myself who don't know too much about judo, can you maybe give me a quick crash course on what it is and what the objective is at the end of the day?
So as a sport, the objective is to defeat your opponent by establishing a dominant grip. Essentially, from the beginning of the contest, you need to have a dominant grip, and then utilize your opponent's movement and them being off balance by applying a perfect technique, throwing them with largely speed, force, and control,
Sure.
landing on their back. And then you would then get a perfect score, which is 10 points. Depending on your opponent's landing, if they land on the side of their body or they rotate out of the throw, you then get a lesser score, and you can then transition to groundwork and apply a hold down, a pinning technique, or an arm lock or a strangle, which will result in them submitting, and then you then win the actual contest. Yes.
If my little heart is beating, I don't know how your heart is beating when you hear him say things like that. I'm like, oh, you call it points. This is still a very physical engagement.
Yes.
And we know very practical real-world applications. But in the moment, when you've got two amazingly talented judoka going at it, it feels like things happen in less than a split of a second. Is that timing? Is it strength? Is it a balance of both? Is it mirroring your opponent's mind? Where does that come from?
I think a good judoka knows how much of each to bring into a contest, and it's really dependent on the opponent that you're facing. But the technique part comes from many hours of training.
Train.
The explosiveness and strength, that's of course also part of the training. It's quite important in a contest. And timing is probably one of the most important aspects of it. You need to be using your opponent's movement and their body weight to apply a technique with minimal effort and maximum outcome.
My goodness.
And it can look maximum
Yeah.
when you see some, like the
I mean,
heavyweights
we're
flying
watching
across
right
a
now.
mat. It's insane, but it's also very empowering for women to do because of that reversal of weight. I
Oh
love
my
that.
gosh. If I knew about judo growing up, maybe my life trajectory would have been different. Look at that. That looks crazy. Okay, so let's talk about the Commonwealth Games for a second. I know that South African women's team will be represented by Danae as well as Sky. So let's talk about these athletes. I mean, what strengths do they bring to the table in order to showcase South Africa on a global map?
Well, both Sky and Danae have been training in Europe. Sky's been training in the UK for about 18 months now.
Oh, wow.
So by being in Europe, there's a lot of exposure to European competitions. So you're closer to the action. It's easier to travel into Europe to go and get to have high-level competition. And in terms of depth and numbers, judo is widely practiced in Europe. So yeah, I think that they've got the international experience, and I think that each of them will do incredibly well.
We love the Commonwealth Games because there are some sporting nations that are very much underrepresented on the global stage that get an opportunity. And you'll see one island represented by one judoka or one power lifter. And it's just amazing to see how we can rally behind that. But there is a global community that connects. When we look at, obviously we've got Danae's twin brother there, Thomas Laszlo Breitenbach in, Timothy Mewson in. How much of a step up is it, though, when you go from your local competition kind of circuit? You can find the best in your land, but generally you are the best in your land. Then you step up. What kind of a step up are these boys expecting now in Glasgow?
Well, we're now in a new Olympic cycle, so both of those judoka are competing internationally. Timothy's done incredibly well. He's recently won an African Open. He's been to a Grand Prix event recently. He's done incredibly well there. He's recently returned from training in Japan. So he's been training with the best.
Yeah.
He is sharp. He is ready. Both of them are ready. So I'm certainly also very confident in them.
That's so exciting. Marco, Zach, thanks for joining us this morning. I've got to ask on behalf of the people, if somebody's wanting to try judo for the first time, maybe they're in their adult years or they want to send their
tribe,
kid,
yeah.
100% their community, what would you say to encourage them if they feel a little bit intimidated?
Zach, over to you.
I would recommend diving in head first.
Yeah.
It's an excellent sport. I hold it very close to my own heart. I've been doing it for many years. It's taught me many life lessons,
Sure.
and just don't give up. Consistency with the sport. It's not an easy one to get into, but it's worth it.
I just love the fact that it comes with layers to it. And I think as you start to progress and you master the skills, you start to see the culture, the discipline, the lifestyle elements, those influences kicking in on another level. So for children in the Japanese martial arts system, there is so much more to be gained than just the sporting advantage. Are you listening, little one? We love a family that's into martial arts. So we've got a little bit of the context. We know that Team South Africa has got some punching power, in this case, some throwing power. But we're going to see exactly how we put the do in judo, okay? They are going to give us a little bit of a demonstration as to what is key principle to this incredible martial arts. So stick around.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
This morning, we're joined by award-winning actress, radio personality, and mom Katlego Danke from Backstage and Generations to Gomora and Isidingo. Katlego has become one of South Africa's most loved television personalities. Katlego, welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Incredible. You are one busy woman, okay? Let's run this back. Filming, media work, brand commitments, and then you are a very busy mom of two. So we're talking long production days, we're talking appearances, interviews, and then just family life. To top it all off, it's also winter now, which means coughs and the cold season is here. How are you handling it all?
Well, winter can be a lot, especially with children around. One person starts coughing and it can quickly affect the whole family. So it's best to stay prepared.
How exactly are you going about being prepared?
Well, being prepared is all about having the right medicines on hand for when illness strikes. And for me, I turn to Lennon Medicines. It's a brand that I just grew up with. I mean, I remember those small little familiar bottles in the medicine cabinet as a child. So it's already something that I trust and I find reliable. It's been in the family for generations, you know? So now I understand as a mom why people turn to it.
I think it speaks a lot when a brand continues to be trusted from one generation to the next.
Yeah, I mean, life gets so busy these days. Sometimes I'm on set from early morning, then I'm rushing to events, meetings, siblings or maybe straight back to the kids. So it's always good to have a product at home that I know and that I can trust. And my favorite is Lennon Cough Mixture.
Tell me more about the Lennon Cough Mixture.
Well, it's used for the relief of phlegmy coughs, and what I like about it is that it loosens up the phlegm so that it's easier to cough out. Just makes everyone more comfortable.
And it comes in different flavors too, right?
Of course. So it comes in orange, honey, and peppermint flavors, where families can choose what suits them best. The orange and honey flavors are suitable from 2 years of age, while the peppermint flavor is suitable from 6 years of age.
And that really makes it convenient for the entire family.
Oh, yes. And that's why Mom wants something trusted, effective, and suitable for the family. That's why I make Lennon Cough Mixture as part of my winter essentials.
Well, Katlego, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me. And I hope families stay warm and stay prepared and take care of themselves this winter with Lennon medicines.
Be ready for phlegmy coughs this winter with Lennon Cough Mixtures. Lennon Medicines, an original, trusted since 1898.
All right, so we promised you some heavy-hitting mat sounds, and we've got it. So we brought the mats. The gents very kindly offered to stick around to give us a little bit more of an active demonstration into the judo that we're going to see our 4 exponents from South Africa competing in Glasgow over this weekend. It's a big one, and they are primed and ready. The gentlemen seem primed and ready. I wish you could have heard the noises. What I want you to do is turn the sound up on your TV right now, just so you can hear a very satisfying sound. So talk us through the drills that you're going to be taking us through right now.
So I'll just demonstrate a throw where you break balance, you enter, and then you execute the throw. So the first one we'll do is a shoulder throw. So we'll break the person's balance, enter. He's landed largely on his back. I would get a perfect score for that throw. That's a forward throw. There's 8 different directions you can throw someone in. You can throw them in backwards. It's broken into hand techniques, hip techniques, rear sacrifice techniques. If I don't get a perfect score, I can do an arm lock, transition to the ground.
The arm bar.
And he then submits, and I would win the contest.
This says to me in the context of training, your partner or I don't want to call it an opponent in the context of training, because you guys are working on something together. How important is it that you've got that chemistry and understanding in a dojo? Because as much as we are training for a sport, there is a very physical component to this.
Yeah, I think the important thing is you're there to go and is mutual benefit. You're training together. Injury prevention is key. So you need to look after your clubmates, your partner, because then if he gets injured, then you don't have someone to train with at your next practice. So it's about respect, tolerance.
This is why you don't want to be too noisy in the dojo. So you're the person who stands out. I've got a recognizable face, which is not a good thing in a dojo. So you mentioned a couple of scenarios there, which I absolutely love, because there's something about judo for everybody. Something about giving away something, a risk, or so when you work in that attack mode, when you've got dominance, what kind of throw do you use? When you are behind, you said something about sacrificing the something. Talk me through those seconds when you're entering into this moment. How do you know what to employ?
So you're using the movement of your partner or your opponent if you're in a contest situation. You're then moving them around the mat and looking at the direction of movement. And you then use that to your advantage, whether it's his direction of movement or him being off balance. You use that to your advantage to execute a throw with a minimal effort, but with a maximum outcome for yourself.
I love that. Can I be a little bit cheeky here? Because we talk so much about judo as being one of the most practical martial arts, especially for women to learn from a self-defense perspective. Yeah. Just to give you that initiative, that moment of. So if we had to create a scenario, and you seem like the nicest guy, so you're not someone who would aggressively attack someone, but if an attacker had to take you from behind, how do you translate what we see on the competition mats into a real-time moment or a practical self-defense tool? Would you be willing to throw him one last time?
So as an example, if the person had to come behind me and grab me around my shoulders, what is key is to get your center of gravity lower than them. Grab the arm, bend, and you can throw them. So if you get down lower, below their center of gravity, if you drop your hips below their hips, then you can do that. If they attack you around your neck, easiest thing is to drop your chin so that they do not restrict your windpipe or your throat. So just, yeah.
I love this. There's like a basic survival element and not. Okay, I'm going to let you do a moment here, if you can, because this says to me so much has got to be going on in your mind and your preparation to be able to do that move. So what that looks like. So I'm going to leave, you can do whatever throw is going to make the loudest noise right here. But if you can show me that moment of engagement when you guys have got to enter into it, because it's not like you're ranging, you're touching and you are there and you're physically engaged. And what that moment is, how do you know, when do you take that moment?
So if you're in a contest, your objective, you always start a contest and you bow. It's a sign of respect. It's the rules of our sport. But when you engage, you need to take grip. So in judo, if I'm not gripping my opponent, then I can't perform my technique. So I would grab him here.
Testing pressure points.
Test pressure points, and then you can then go in and do your technique. It depends on whether he's bending over. I can also grab him here, I can throw him backwards now. And if I didn't get a perfect score, I could transition and I can hold him down, pin him down for 20 seconds, and I win the contest.
I absolutely love this. There is obviously a brotherhood and a sisterhood that exists in these spaces. As someone who's practiced this martial art for and invested emotionally so much in it, to those kids, those families that are looking for this kind of direction, and I can speak from direct experience in that martial arts space, but there's something about a traditional Japanese martial art that captures so much more. What advice or push would you have for those families thinking about taking their children into this space?
It's patience, perseverance. It is a complex sport. It takes time to master the principles. In judo, we teach you how to fall safely. You don't get hurt, and you must persevere. And I think, like anything, regular practice allows you to establish the basic principles. And once you've established those principles, then the rest follows with natural progression
and you are regulated in the most amazing way. And it's just good people. You will constantly meet amazing, wonderful people pouring their energy back into that next generation of judoka, which is amazing. So thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
I don't know how you guys feel when you're watching your teammates and fellow countrymen competing on mats out there against the world, but I would imagine their little hearts are going to be beating very fast. Our hearts are going to be beating very fast because we know what it takes to get to the games. And then the challenge begins. So spare a thought for Team South Africa in Glasgow this weekend as our judoka go and fly the South African flag so proudly. But I love the fact that this relationship with the Japanese martial arts is so strong in South Africa. That's something that we can all plug into. So please, and if you are being thrown, you've got to slap the mat so it makes a really loud noise. Okay, that's what we demand. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Awesome.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Okay. Welcome back, Feel Good family. Now, we've promised you an amazing morning filled with music, and we're joined by the Ndlovu Choir, and it's going to be absolutely exceptional. Now, they are from a small community in Limpopo, and we're joined by Rolf Schmidt as well as Usandile Majolo. How are you today before we get into it? It's such an exciting morning.
No, fantastic. We're very excited to be here, and thank you for having us, and good morning to the viewers.
Now, we are talking about a celebration of life. What a beautiful name. Something about that has so much impact to it. What does a celebration of life sound and look like on the stage? Let's start with you, Ralph.
Yeah, the show's called Celebration of Africa.
Yes.
So we're celebrating our continent, and we're going to be taking a variety of songs from South Africa and the continent and around the world, and putting our own impression on music from around the world from an African lens.
Yes.
And in that way, celebrating the continent. We're so excited. We're going to be here in Monte Cassino Teatro opening tonight in Johannesburg. And we're going to be in the Teatro until Sunday. And tickets are still available at ticketmaster.ca. Very few of them.
Yes.
So we're very excited that we're going to have this packed theatre. This is one of South Africa's biggest theatre. And just celebrating Africa. That's what we're going to be doing over the next 6 shows, and very excited to do that.
That sounds so amazing. So basically what you're telling us is we need to run to get those tickets, not just walk because they're running out.
No, the guys need to Murife.
Get moving.
Don't run, you must run. Like Murife.
I love that so much. Now, Sandile, you are team leader, which means you get to experience being in the choir.
Yes.
As somebody who performs, what separates what this choir does from everyone else?
We just celebrate. We celebrate us. We celebrate Africa. We celebrate, we come from a very beautiful country.
Yes.
With different cultures and food, style, our music, our piano. We have so many things to celebrate about this beautiful country. So every time when we're on stage, we celebrate each and everything that we have in South Africa.
I love that you speak to that. I mean, we always say Rainbow Nation, diversity.
Yes.
The fact that that reflects in the choir is absolutely amazing. But with that, it does mean that a choir has to evolve. Rolf, how do you keep that identity of the choir while still evolving and finding new styles over the years?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question, because you have to, in any artist has to evolve and grow. And it's just been incredible to see how these singers have grown. Sandile joined us when he was like that high. And he's grown into this incredible young man that's an amazing performer. And the music has to grow with him. It has to grow with the singers. And you can see how we challenge each other.
Yeah.
And take songs that we never thought we would necessarily do, and now it's on. For example, last year we released a isiZulu version. I always say marinated in isiZulu and slow roasted in Limpopo of Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody.
Not that sounding delicious.
Yeah, and I sent Bohemian Rhapsody to the guys. I'm like, gents, we're doing Bohemian. Mararalf, what's this? And I say, guys, we're going to do kwasa kwasa, mbaqanga. We're going to put all these African genres into this thing. Iskatamiya. And it was the first cover of that song approved by the original members of the band Queen in the UK. And it's progression like that. It's looking at genres like opera. How can we take Italian opera and present it through an African lens?
Oh, wow.
And we did a rearrangement, isiZulu rearrangement of Puccini's Nessun Dorma. But of course, we still stay home. We still love the magumbas and the the mapiano and the big songs. In Kalagato, of course. I mean, no celebration of South Africa. Exactly. You can't celebrate South Africa without in Kalagato.
Doom.
Yeah.
Doom. As soon as you hear it, you know you're in a good place. It's about to be an amazing time.
Absolutely.
Now, what I also love about it is that it's really big on representation. So like you're saying, yes, we're looking at the international stage, but we're also focused on homegrown genres that have come up. So the choir has almost become a symbol of hope. How does it feel to carry that weight on your shoulder?
Well, we are grateful for this opportunity to be able to represent what South Africa has.
Yes.
You know, like I mentioned earlier, that we have so much talent, we have different cultures, and to be the ones that we feel like we were chosen to just take
I
it,
like
to put
that
it out
word.
there. Yes.
Chosen. I feel like I want to join this choir. You guys are getting. Where can I audition?
No, that's one of the most amazing things of this choir. Is everyone in this choir is from Mutsi, Limpopo. So you have to move to Mutsi. Go to
Easy.
Kalanyoni, that's the Kasi.
Okay.
And you know, I always say if there's that much talent in one small community, how much untapped potential is there in this country amongst young people? So you're clearly young, so you can join the choir.
Thank you.
You're going to have to move to Limpopo.
Yes.
And you've got the vibe, so half the audition's done.
The only tricky part is that I can't put a note together, but we'll get there. I'm pretty sure you guys can teach me that.
We'll try our best.
Ralph, remind us again where the show is, when it's happening, and when it will end.
The show is at the Monte Cassino Teatro. We're opening tonight, and we're on there until Sunday. There's 2 performances on Saturday and Sunday, a matinee and an evening performance, and then evening performances tonight and Friday. Tickets available at Ticketmaster. And I was just told before we came in, there's not many left, so people need to they need to...
You heard it yourself. Tickets are running out. It's proving to be an absolutely exceptional show. Mzansi, our very own Nglovo Youth Choir, is loved around the globe. So if you don't want to miss their performances this weekend, then head over to webtickets.co.za and get your last chance for the few remaining seats. Oh my gosh, Cape Town, it's been a minute since we've seen you. How are things hanging that side?
And what a cool group of people, man. We can't wait to get into that performance in just a little bit. For now, though, as we approach the final moments of July, we know that giving back doesn't have to end with Mandela Day. It can, in fact, become part of the way that we live every single day. Now, out in Johannesburg, hundreds of volunteers recently came together for Ladles of Love Hands-on Heroes initiative, creating practical resources that will support 20,000 preschool children across the country. Now, Ayanda, our girl who's holding it down in Joburg, was on the ground to bring us the highlights. She's been busy in the best way, so let's check it out.
Mandela Day may have passed, but the message of service lives on as hundreds of volunteers gather here at the Joburg Expo Center. Today, they're going to be making sandwiches, creating learning resources, boxing up nutrition boxes as well as grow boxes to feed over 20,000 preschool children in underprivileged communities. Let's join them for the day. You have asked hundreds of volunteers to come into the space. Some are making sandwiches, some are making grow boxes. Everybody is doing something with their hands. What is it about them being here that you decided would be better than them just giving you a donation?
You know, when I started my first soup kitchen, I used to watch strangers arrive, and all of a sudden, and you just had human beings coming together, and the way they served the homeless, and then the love and the laughs and the smiles afterwards. For me, that's what this is about. When you do something and it's not about you, it feeds your soul.
That is so well put. And what is that one message that you want your volunteers to go home with, having been a part of the process today?
Continue to choose to be kind. Take the letter M in the word me. Turn it upside down. What do you get?
Me. Oh, I love that. I'm going to use that and tell people I came up with it. Lungi, we are having such a beautiful day today. People have honestly come out in numbers. Nelson Mandela Day was days ago, but people have still decided to show up. Why did you decide to come?
Look, I think it's always important to give back of your time. One thing I've realized is I'm not as busy as I always say I am, so I had some time available, and I think it's important to also just show that you care, and I think just to be able to be here and to lend a helping hand is really important.
I'm so glad that you spoke about time, because a lot of us convince ourselves we don't have enough time to help out. And another thing is that we always think we need to have money to help out as well. People have showed up here today, no money involved. How important is it just to show up with these small gestures?
I think actually giving of your time and being here in person and seeing the hard work that goes into these events is the most important thing. I think that for me was the eye-opener, seeing how many people were here, the energy that was here, the excitement around this, and just people actually putting themselves to work and doing something to contribute and give back is pretty special to see.
It's one thing to talk about being a part of something, but it's another thing entirely to roll up your sleeves and to actually be a part of it. Let's talk to the volunteers that have decided to carry the spirits of Nelson Mandela Day beyond the 67 minutes.
I think because we're all South Africans and we're very much aware of the challenges of poverty and underserved communities in our country. So we wanted to take the time and make a bit of a tangible difference today. But in our books, every day is Mandela Day, and we can all do something in our communities. And it makes us aware of our privilege, you know, so that the sandwich can make a difference to a child in a day.
You know, our lives are so busy that we don't always get a chance to do this. So I think just giving our time, it makes a huge difference, especially to these kids. I mean, 15,000 kids, 2 meals a day. So it's just knowing that you've made a difference.
I came here to help because of I like to volunteer and help the community. So I think this will help change other kids' life, because this thing is like we are donating for the kids that are in need.
Today here we are coloring the books and this art that are going to assist our children so that they can see that we really, really love them and we're with them in spirit.
So we are packing basically veggie boxes. Once we're done with this, it will be handed over to the urban farmers who grow it. And then Ladles of Love will basically buy it back from the urban farmers and then distribute it.
I think it's nice, like all the personal touches you can leave on the things you're making, like, and they let you take your time. So, you know, like with the car, you can, you know, design it the way you think a kid would want it, or when you're coloring in with the food packs, you can really, you know, like leave your mark on it.
In the entire South Africa, we need to help each other, assist each other. It doesn't matter how little it is. The 67 minutes should be just 67 minutes. We should be making a difference in our everyday life.
I think the reason we were also excited because this aligns with our personal values about making a difference in small and large ways. And what we're going to do differently is just be more mindful of what we need to be doing as South Africans to make a difference every day.
Hands-on Heroes initiative is a beautiful reminder that Nelson Mandela Day is not just a date on the calendar, but how we choose to commit to our communities and help support 20,000 preschool children benefit from what we've sowed today.
Incredible work reminding us that, yes, it is a lifestyle, in fact, that we need to get into. It's all about the Hands-on Heroes initiative, reminding us so beautifully that lasting change begins when ordinary people choose to keep showing up for their communities around them. And for the 20,000 preschool children who'll benefit from these efforts, those simple acts of kindness will have an impact long after July, which is Mandela Month. Well, let's get into what happens after this break now. Donald and Reggie, athletes are standing by to talk about the Deadly Dozen happening out in London. Now, Ayanda Tabete gets to sit down with them to find out what it takes to continue being the best of the best repping South Africa. We'll see you now.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
You're still with us, Feel Good family. Welcome back. Now, from local grit to global glory, our next two guests are about to take on the world. David Foster and Reggie Aya have officially punched their tickets, qualified to represent South Africa, that's the country, at the Fierce Deadly Dozen 2026 event in London. We are sitting down with them to talk training, triumph, and taking on the international stage. Please give our champions a feel good welcome to Expresso. Hello, hello.
Hi, Anna.
You guys are so handsome. First of all, let's start. How are you feeling?
All well and blessed. Thank you.
Yes,
You
thank
look
you
like
so much
such
for
an
having us.
Of course, thank you for being here. You look like such an amazing pair. David, I think let me start with you about how did you meet and what led you to doing hybrid fitness together?
Okay, so we grew up in a community in the East from humble beginnings. So obviously that then, always challenges one to rise above your circumstances.
Absolutely.
So training for me personally is seen as therapy, right?
Yes.
For the past 5 years and for the last 2 years, as we're preparing for this particular championship or the qualifiers thereof, I met Reggie in the gym. So that's where our relationship intensified.
Yes.
So he's got a very strong discipline and ethic when it comes to workout and fitness. So I think I was privileged in that sense to be guided and groomed by him, preparing us for the qualifiers. Yeah.
I love that. And why hybrid fitness specifically? Because you could have gone any direction, but you decided hybrid. Why?
Well, I think my typical answer would be because it challenges you from a whole lot of other directions, such as life as well. So you're never comfortable. It's always different,
Yes.
Each and every event is never the same. Your preparation is not the same.
Yeah.
And like I said, just like life, life always tackles you from different angles, and this is exactly what this does as well.
I love that so much. I also just want to touch up on Deadly Dozen. Obviously, a lot of us are familiar with High Rocks. I've heard of Deadly Dozen, plan on doing it myself, or maybe I'll get some tips from you. But what is the difference between your Deadly Dozen and the High Rocks?
So I would say when it comes to the fundamental of what the body requires, it's similar.
Yes.
But different exercises, So like with your Deadly Dozen, you've got, that's why it's called Deadly Dozen. It's 12 obstacles.
Okay.
12 training obstacles with 12 400-meter runs, which whereby with High Rocks would be your 8 obstacles with 8 1-kilometer runs, But different functionality requirements, different strength requirements, different endurance requirements. So like any other hybrid race, it's always different, but, the challenge is always there.
Of course. And I mean, I struggle with just being on the treadmill in the gym. I can't imagine doing extra stuff to help me get to where you are as well. Now, you spoke about the community that you grew up in. Let's name it Rega Park. Tell me about growing up there and how that helps you with the discipline you now have for this discipline.
Yeah, so as a youngster, you look across the streets and you look at the schools, you look at the community. It's an element of pride, to say, well, guys, in the midst of all our challenges that we have, but there's also the spirit of Ubuntu. Now, for us, the spirit that we feel that we can share with the rest of South Africa is obviously taking us to the global stage.
Yes.
And wow, how much more with our God-given talent, participating at the age of above 42 in hybrid fitness events, High Rocks in Deadly Dozen championships. I mean, that's we couldn't be more grateful for that opportunity. So it's also then to send a message to every youngster in South Africa who's got a dream to say, well, if they could do it at the age of 42, surely I can. And it also speaks to the older generation to say, guys, before the doctor's report comes, let's rather wake up now and do something about your lifestyle. Because our goal every day is to turn fitness, especially hybrid fitness, into a lifestyle and a culture. Because you're investing in yourself. And nobody can take that investment away from you. And I mean, it's a great deal of investment.
It really is. I love that. Just to focus on being proactive instead of reactive.
Absolutely.
Now, you are going all the way to London. I know that there are flight tickets that need to be paid. You need to live in a place while you're there. Tell us about those financial implications of getting you to London for Deadly Dozen.
Yeah, so we're grateful for the support that we've received so far, from Mzansi and across South Africa. We really appreciate that. However, the only thing that stands between our dream and London right now is the flights and accommodation.
Yeah.
So, we're seeking sponsorships for flights and accommodation. I'll be happy to share my passport online, for people to book us. So that's basically the only obstacle that we're facing right now. We also have the Back a Buddy platform that we've registered, so we've received quite a great response in that regard. So the only thing that's really left now is the flights and accommodation to represent South Africa.
Oh, and we want to see you there. So you said there is a Back a Buddy that we can put the funds into to help to get you there.
Absolutely. So it's a credible platform. They've done the verification of our qualification. They've got all the details there. So if you go online, backabuddy.com, Rega Park to Deadly Worlds, London, David Foster, Reggie Iyer, you'll be happy to see us there.
Oh, and we want to back you. We want to support you so much. You look like you fit the part. It looks like it's going to be phenomenal. Just one last one before we do go. Right. You did say that there are 12 events. Which do you think is the most trickiest for you?
I would say on the day, because it's so different each and every time. Yes. But of course, when you're looking at your burpees that no one loves,
yes.
So what makes it challenging is coming from 1 or 2 obstacles, 1 or 2, 3, 4 runs, and having to do something. On the day, the body is always it reacts different.
Yeah.
So apart from it just being a type of a training whereby your body needs to be fit, there comes a time when your mental power needs to kick in because the body doesn't respond anymore. So that's the thing about that as well, is teaching how your body, or should I say, teaching your body to perform while you are fatigued.
Yes. Oh my gosh, you put that so well. I imagine, is there farm carries with this one?
Absolutely. There is farmer's carry, correct.
I can't imagine myself doing
start with farmer's carry. So back row, for me, that's been the toughest.
Yes.
But then you also have to run continuously in the midst of 36 degrees Celsius. So the climate also plays a role. So it's really taking out the best in you.
Yeah.
But it's that great deal of satisfaction and accomplishment if you know that you've qualified. I mean, we've qualified with the hour. Within an hour we did all 12 obstacles, all 12 runs.
Yes.
Non-stop. So it really brings out the best. And I mean, how much more for our relationship, and also it shows what teamwork can do.
What an amazing achievement, and better you than me. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. What an incredible journey for these 2 athletes, from grueling local qualifiers straight to the big stage in the UK. David, Reggie, again, thank you both for being here with us today. You've been absolutely phenomenal, and we are all rooting for you. Remember to pledge any amount via Back a Buddy. Every rand counts towards getting these athletes to London. These details can be found on Expresso social media pages.
Well, thank you so much for that, Ayanda, and the gents that joined you. 3 minutes after 7. Let's delve straight into your national news headlines, where the Electoral Commission says it is fully prepared for this weekend's final in-person voter registration drive, and that's ahead of the 4th of November local government elections. Now, more than 48,000 electoral officials will staff nearly 23,700 voting stations nationwide on Saturday and Sunday, giving eligible South Africans a final opportunity to register or update their details before the voters' roll closes. Now, the IEC says 620 political parties have registered to contest the elections, while online registration will remain available until the election date is officially proclaimed. In other news in our country, Major General Luntu Dianchi has been appointed as the new Western Cape's Provincial Police Commissioner, succeeding Tembisile Patikile, who retired last month. Now, he assumes the role as the province's battles escalating gang violence and a spate of deadly shootings, including 11 killings across Cape Town last weekend. Now, Dianchi brings extensive policing experience, having served as a station commander, cluster commander and provincial head of crime prevention in both the Eastern and Western Cape. The National Police leadership says tackling violent crime will be among his most urgent priorities. Internationally speaking now, rescue teams in southern Japan are continuing the search for survivors after a powerful magnitude 7.1 earthquake struck Kumo. Now, that killed at least 18 people and injured dozens more. Thousands remain in evacuation shelters as emergency crews work through damaged buildings and widespread infrastructure disruption. More than 100 aftershocks have rattled the region, prompting authorities to warn residents to remain vigilant for further strong tremors and possible landslides. Power and water outages persist in some areas as relief efforts do continue. Now on to news on the continent. Egyptian authorities have launched an investigation after a suspected drone strike sparked explosions and fires at the Damietta LNG terminal on the Mediterranean coast. Now the blaze, which broke out aboard the US-owned floating storage vessel Iniagos Winter during cargo operations, spread to a nearby gas tanker before being brought under control. All crew members were safely evacuated and no injuries, fortunately, were reported. The affected vessels have since been moved from the terminal while investigators work to establish the exact circumstances surrounding the blast. Currently, no group has claimed responsibility. Ending off with a feel-good note, as we do on Expresso, with a 45-kilogram senior dog named Sable, who became too exhausted to continue hiking in Pennsylvania's Teaderton State Forest in the U.S. Now, 6 volunteer firefighters refused to leave her behind. After hiking nearly 2 miles to reach her, they carefully placed the gentle Labrador into a rescue basket and spent 4.5 grueling hours carrying her down the steep mountain trail. Now, the team stopped regularly to give Sable water and let her rest before continuing. Best of all, the much-loved dog is expected to make a full recovery, proving that true heroes never ask whether someone has 2 legs or 4. That's a great way to close up your 7 o'clock news. Let's get into sports.
Well, on behalf of all the humans who dogs have saved over the last millennia, thank you. Absolutely love that. All right, let's get back in the water. And there is some magic in Glasgow. South African swimmer Chad le Clos has become the most decorated athlete in Commonwealth Games history. He won a record 21st Commonwealth Games medal after helping South Africa claim bronze in the men's 4x100-metre medley relay. And that podium finish now moving le Clos past Australian legendary swimmer Emma McKeon's previous record of 20 medals. Congratulations, young man. Absolutely amazing. Now, of course, WAFCON is lit, and we love being able to plug right in. Ghana and Cameroon both opening their Women's African Cup of Nations campaigns with victories in their Group D. And Ghana beating tournament debutants Cape Verde 2-0, while Cameroon edged out Mali 2-1 in a very closely contested encounter. Great matchups tonight. Round 2 gets underway as Senegal face Kenya, and then high-flying Morocco take on Algeria. And then Cote d'Ivoire tomorrow night. That's the mountain Banyana have to climb at 7 o'clock. And they got off to a brilliant start, so it's going to be a tough one. Now let's get into a broader footballing conversation in the wake of this last World Cup. FIFA has opened disciplinary proceedings against the Argentine Football Association over the behaviour of Argentina's players, their officials and supporters during the World Cup. So the investigations include allegations of team misconduct, as we can see playing out after that final against Spain. And that's fan behaviour, player behaviour, discrimination and breaches in security at matches. FIFA has not yet confirmed what sanctions, if any, could be imposed. Now, we never like reporting on these kind of stories, but this has been a career worth noting. Brazilian superstar Neymar has announced officially his retirement from international football. The 34-year-old ends his international career as Brazil's all-time leading men's goal scorer with 80 goals in 130 appearances in that resplendent gold. Neymar represented Brazil at 4 consecutive FIFA World Cups as well and won Olympic gold in Rio in 2016. For club and country, he has made a massive impact in the world of football. So we certainly wish him well, along with the rest of the world. And that's where we leave our sport for now. Let's delve into the traffic. All right, we've got to start up in Randburg in Gauteng. Sadly, congestion has already been reported on the N1 northbound. That's between Malebongwe Drive and Beyers Nordia Drive. Normally a hot spot. All lanes remain open, though. However, motorists can expect some delays, and you're advised to allow for a little extra travel time or maybe find an alternate route. Thankfully, that's all to report on traffic-wise. Let's get into the weather. We start up in Polokwane. Good morning to you. Mostly sunny skies are going to take over your skies today, thankfully. You kick off on a low of 6 degrees today, rising to a balmy high of 24. And then looking ahead, sunny skies continue to dominate with a few passing clouds. Tomorrow's daytime highs peaking at 21 degrees, and we stay in that zone going into the weekend. Klerksdorp, our next stop, taking over your day, will be mostly sunny skies today as well, albeit with a very chilly start at 2 degrees this morning, but that does give way to a daytime high of 22 degrees. And then expect temperatures for the coming days to settle at 22 degrees throughout, skies remaining sunny and clear of rain, thankfully. Pretoria, our next stop, and it's looking like a bright and sunny day ahead for you. Temperatures ranging between a minimum of 7 and again setting at our magic number today, 22 degrees. And it looks like those sun-filled days are here to stay. Your daytime highs peaking at 21 degrees for the next 2 days before back to 22 for the weekend. Johannesburg, good morning to you. Josie, you can expect plenty of sunshine throughout the morning and through to the evening. In fact, temperatures migrate from a cold 4 warming to 20 degrees for your Thursday. And then we look into the week, sunny skies defining your days ahead, your daytime highs setting in the upper teens. And Mbombela is where we find ourselves next, and you've got sunny skies above today. Temperatures climb from a chilly 11 degrees to set at 20, and then tomorrow sees those temperatures moving from a low of 7 to a high of 21 degrees, and again clear of any rain throughout the weekend and moving into the new week. Bloemfontein, conversely, you can expect some morning showers expected today before those skies do clear. And that might have something to do with the -1 degree start for your day, and you rise to a moderate 17. But you can expect some sunny skies to continue heading towards the weekend with cool to pleasant temperatures setting the tone. Richards Bay is where we find ourselves next, and we're going to experience some scattered showers forecast at 40% throughout our day today. Temperatures ranging as a result between 14 and 21 degrees when that weather clears, and then cloudy and wet conditions are going to continue in the coming days with rain chanced at around 33% for the remainder of the week when we average it out. Then Durbs, you can expect rain chanced at 25%, accompanied by a noticeable southwesterly wind today, just to compound things a little. Temperatures moving between 14 and 21 degrees. And then tomorrow's forecast calls for partly cloudy skies and humid conditions, that rain expected at 25% as well. Tata, good morning to you. You are blessed with some rain this morning. In fact, just a smattering of 10% chance as we move from a nippy 4-degree low to a high of only 15 for your Thursday. And over the coming days, the sunny skies do return, some lingering clouds though, and daytime highs moving between 16 and 21 degrees. Mkuba, good morning to you. You've got some cloud cover above you right now, and that speaks to a 1-degree start to your temperature range, but it's going to clear as we progress to a high of 17, and then sun-filled skies are set for tomorrow with temperatures remaining pleasantly cool and reaching a high of 18 degrees, kicking up to the lower 20s moving into the weekend. Gogompo City, hopefully you're having a great start to your day, albeit under a little rain. Thursday ushers in rain chance at 25% under partly cloudy skies today. Temperatures ranging between 9 and doubling up to 18 degrees. And as the day progresses, partly cloudy skies are going to turn sunny, clear of rain. Temperatures holding up steady into the weekend, so embrace it. Kabaka, good morning to you. Partly cloudy skies on the cards for you today as we shift from a low of 9 degrees to a daytime high of 19. And then we've got a mix of sunny and light cloudy conditions set for the coming days. Tomorrow's temps rising from a low of 9 to set at a beautiful 20 and getting even better as we move into the weekend. Gorgeous George, looking gorgeous this morning. Sunny skies are going to define your day today and carry you through a temperature range of a cool 7 degrees minimum to a high of 18 today. And then tomorrow brings partly cloudy skies. Your daytime high sitting at 19 degrees, which is just a degree above today, but we'll take it. And the weekend looking even better. In the mother city, we've got a bright, sunshiny day filled and definitely going to embrace that today as we move between 11 degrees and a high of 21 degrees for our Klein Vrydag. Sunny skies are going to turn cloudy by tomorrow, though, heading into the weekend. Temperatures maxing at 22 degrees until Sunday. Then southerlies, as we have coined it. Sutherland, good morning to you. Partly cloudy conditions are expected across your region today. Temperatures ranging from a biting 1 degrees, only getting up to 16 today, and looking into the rest of the week, partly cloudy conditions taking over the coming days. Your daytime highs ranging only in the upper teens as a result. Kimberly, good morning to you. Skies are set to remain mostly sunny throughout your day, so that 1 degree cold start to the day is going to give way to a pleasantly warm 19 as we move through the day. And then sunny skies are going to dominate the remainder of the week, with warm temperatures and humid conditions continuing into the weekend. And then Uppy's our final stop in our whistle stop tour. A good deal of sunshine forecast for your Thursday. It's going to make that morning low of 3 degrees feel like a long distant memory by the time we get to a balmy 24-degree high. Sunny skies defining the days ahead as well, clear of rain, with tomorrow's temperatures ranging from a low of 3 to a high of 25 degrees, and then Saturday and Sunday looking even better. We've had some wonderful photos, so thank you so much for your contributions. Let's see who's rocking it for this hour. We've got Cleo Pfeiffer from Paarl in the Western Cape. Paarl is honestly one of my favorite places on the planet, and it has beautiful skies above, capturing that pre-glow, that pre-burn, as Ryle always says. Absolutely gorgeous way to frame our day. I do like the juxtapositioning of just that one light, showing just the start of productivity while the earth and the warmth kind of embraces us around that. Great contribution. If you think you can beat it, prove it. WhatsApp us on 0630369649. We're going to have a whole lot of fun over the next hour of the show. My friend, what has got you most excited?
This July, every fuel stop could be twice as rewarding. Fill up at Shell, scan your Shell V Plus rewards card, and pay using your ABSA Visa card to unlock double rewards through Shell V Plus rewards and ABSA rewards. Enjoy up to 60% real cash back, plus up to R1 per litre with Shell V Plus rewards when using your ABSA Visa card, depending on your rewards tier. One fuel stop, 2 rewards programs. Double the rewards.
Well, I'll tell you this much, Graham, so excited to get my mental health, but also my financial health in check. And within this hour, we, of course, are going to touch base with both sides of the coin. Carla Fent is standing by as it is National Savings Month, and will remind us that maybe when you pay yourself first, it's the principle that will get us ahead of the game. And then, of course, getting our mental health sorted, we'll get that box ticked straight after this.
Did you know that if you shave, 1/3 of what you remove is skin? New Dove Advanced Care with Pro Ceramide technology helps repair your skin barrier from this damage for visibly even-toned underarms. So, if you shave it, Dove it. Dove Advanced Care Antiperspirant helps repair skin from shaving damage.
It's my feel-good breakfast show. Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and thank you for joining us this morning. Listen, we're in the second hour of the show, and we want to get our mental fog all cleared out to make sure that we are on the right track when it comes to all things to do with our mental health. Now, we've all experienced those days where we simply can't seem to concentrate. You read the same email over and over again. You forget why you walked into a room or struggle to even stay focused on the simplest of tasks. You've been there.
Like just trying to remember who Banyana are playing tomorrow in WAFCON. I'm like, come on,
You're
man,
asking
where
for
is
too
my
much.
parade? This morning we are exploring what causes brain fog. We can joke about it, but when it hits, there is something wrong. How it affects our mental performance and how supporting our mental energy can help us feel sharper throughout the day. Maybe it isn't software, maybe it's hardware that needs to be fixed. So a very warm welcome to General Practitioner Dr. Ayesha Ramjan. Thank you so much. Are you here to save the world?
Please,
I'm
Doc.
here to save you guys.
Just
Yes,
us.
I'm here.
Just
I'm
us.
here.
Okay,
you, Doc.
good.
Let's
Thank
help
you for
you.
joining us. We mentioned mental fog, brain fog. Let's get into this. Is it a real thing? Are we just using it as an excuse? What exactly are we talking about?
Right. So brain fog is this umbrella term that we use to describe certain things. So common things are forgetfulness, feeling mentally sluggish and fatigue, and very slow mental processing. And it by itself, brain fog is not a medical condition, but it does signify an underlying issue. Common things that everyone would know about is very high stress levels. It's a huge one. Lack of sleep as well, poor nutrition. Sometimes it's because of an underlying medical condition that needs to be figured out as well.
Sure.
So this all says to me, and unfortunately, when you're most disconnected to your body, that's generally when your body is telling you you need to be most connected to your body. So
Absolutely.
get advice and get some help. It's difficult to understand, though, where the battle line is when it comes to mental energy. Physical energy, we can chug a coffee, but it might give me a momentary spike, but then I feel 10 times worse after when I've just tried to. When we talk about mental energy, what is that actually?
So I'm going to rather give you an example. So your brain is metabolically active. It consumes a huge amount of energy just to keep you alive and help you with critical thinking. So when you have enough energy, it's adequate, you're in a good mood, you can think clearly, you can make decisions fast and clearly, you can remember everything. You feel great about yourself. When that energy starts to decrease, your brain switches into survival mode rather. So that critical thinking takes a back burner and your brain just focuses on normal, daily, everyday life.
And as you say that, the danger here is you start validating yourself by just getting through the day, not by conquering your hopes and dreams and feeding yourself. You're just like one foot in front of the other, just get through it. And that is no way to live.
It's true. Okay, so we know about the healthy habits, getting enough sleep, staying active, eating well. You did mention diet's important as well. How can supporting your mental energy actually move it from brain fog and frustration into what we're all striving for, just that sense of calm? That sense of I got this.
Guys, I'm not going to like my answers.
Oh, no.
But you do seem very calm as you say this, which gives me hope in itself.
My mental energy is there. I'm okay.
Yeah, thank goodness.
The problem is we are on such high alert 24/7, and it's because of the lifestyle we live today. It is so important to give your brain breaks. Most people are working online. It's constant screen time. Give yourself breaks, get outside, get some sunlight, manage your stress. It is such a huge factor. Set boundaries, look after yourself. And if after all of this you really are struggling, do some mental games, speak to someone, see your doctor as well, in case there's underlying medical conditions that you really cannot get on top of.
I'm going to ask you a personal question because you've rolled your eyes about 3 times at me already this morning, which doctors generally do because I am my own worst enemy. But I think because the mental energy seems to come with an emotional attachment. It's fine if our body is feeling sluggish, we know we just got to feed it. But it comes with a destabilization when the mental side is thrown out. Is there something that you do for yourself to maintain that regulation? Because you've got to take everybody's trauma load every time you connect with them.
It is true. The thing is that's really important is for you to be able to separate these things.
Partition.
Your life is not based on your job. Unfortunately, I know we all think that.
Our life is based on your job.
I know, but that is the reality. You cannot make your whole life about your job. You need a break. You need to go outside, experience the world, do different things. Go hiking at like midnight if you really wanted to. Just experience new things in your life because it gives your brain something new.
Dopamine.
Doing the same exact dopamine, your serotonin, your melatonin, all of those things are so important. And if you're stuck in the same cycle, you're not giving your brain better stimulation. And you have to do that. We all have to do better.
Oh, I love that. And the funny thing is that I think we've both been on this voyage of discovery. Now that I can move my body again, it's not a big solution, often just getting out and moving for a few more meters than you moved yesterday will register as that success and the real kind of dopamine hit. We love you, Doc. Thank you so much for being so calm and centered this morning.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, the blueprint of what all docs should be like. We're just saying. We're not saying what we're saying. All right, it's time to put our minds to the ultimate test. It's early, so bear with us with the Spot the Difference challenge. Now, two almost identical images will appear on the screen with 5 subtle differences hidden between them. And we literally have 30 seconds to spot as many differences as possible.
Okay.
Okay, so bring on the challenge. Let's see.
Okay, well, I'm just
about.
to compound my age component that always seems to have a factor in my mental fogginess. I'm also like half blind, so I'm going to stand up.
Oh, the ponytails.
Okay. I didn't even see one ponytail on one person there.
The ponytails are 1.
I keep thinking, oh, there's a pink rabbit jumping next to the girl. It's a crab.
Okay, 2.
Is it a pink crab?
Is a ladybird, or is that what you're saying? The monkey versus
the bumblebee.
Okay, we've got 3.
I can see next to the girl with the brown hair, there is a bumblebee and then a crab type thing.
4. What's our time check? Are we under 30 seconds? Okay. Oh, we've got 10 more seconds.
Oh, okay, I did see your ladybird. There's a boy and a girl over there. I feel like we did all right. And this is the sobering journey of a parent. You start to do these developmental things with your kids and you realize, wow, okay, my child's brain is sharper than mine. The bottom line is balance. Balance. So don't look for the big solution, look for the smaller solution that's right in front of you and speak to your doc.
That's right. Do games like this actually help? Or are we talking more like Sudoku, Candy Crush?
Candy Crush, maybe not, because you are distracting yourself from things that you need to do. But games like this specifically can be very helpful. If you think about it, there's constant visual stimulation going into your brain. You have to cut out distractions so you can focus. Sometimes there's a time limit, so it's quicker processing that your brain needs to do. There's pattern recognition.
I used to love Mahjong. That used to be my little pocket universe. It's like, wow, disappear.
Yeah, these kind of things is very high-level brain tasks for you to do. So someone with brain fog, after one difference, you get bored, you're going to shut down, you get distracted. And it really helps you tell where you are on that level.
That scale,
yes, on that scale.
And be honest with yourself, man.
Well, we did pretty good. Well done.
I think we did really well there for being old and foggy
Speak for
in the
yourself.
brain. No, we love it. Are you? So my work wife here is obviously in a very different physical journey here.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a foggy phase of the pregnancy journey for
Does that
her?
happen?
It really does.
It's
and
the
I'm
nod
so
and the look
sorry.
down for me.
Pregnancy brain is a thing, and baby brain is a thing even after pregnancy. It is
After
a
pregnancy.
Thing. Just be patient with your body. Let the hormones do its thing. There's no reason to panic.
I must tell everyone around me to be patient, not myself.
That's what this job prepares us for. It's just to be patient with each other. No, I love the fact that we've got this wonderful shared journey together, and maybe therein lies the secret. If you are close to someone and you can see they're at that breaking point, maybe don't put it on them to ask you for help, but maybe just start making some gentle nudges to open that door, because I think we all do need someone in our corner, and we love that you're in our corner, Doc. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Doc, for being here today. Oh, my gosh. All right. So if this is you and you're identifying with all of it, then, of course, we've got a bit of a solution for you. Whether you're working, studying, or simply juggling a busy lifestyle, supporting your mental energy can actually make a real difference, as we've heard. And that's where Revital Ginseng Plus comes in.
It is formulated to help reduce the tiredness, the fatigue, and the stress while supporting stamina and mental alertness. And it's a great button pusher if you are focused on improving that balance for yourself. Ideal for busy professionals, parents and students that are managing demanding schedules, and it's designed to be taken daily as well as a part of your wellness routine, so we can be proactive.
That's right. And we are looking at a holistic look at all of this. But this in particular is formulated with Panax Ginseng, which helps support energy levels and also cognitive performance, which is really important.
In fact, they give it to us as we walk in the door. Yeah, they're like, come on.
Take one. Here we go. Here we go.
Well, if you're looking for support in that space for your mental energy as part of a healthy lifestyle, think about Revital Ginseng Plus. It can give you and the brain the help that you need to get rid of that brain brain fog, the frustration, so you can move to greater mental clarity and focus.
But that's not all. Revital are giving 6 lucky viewers the chance to each win a 500 Rand Take-A-Lot voucher.
Nice.
So what you got to do is simply reply to the competition post on the Expresso social pages. Answer one question. To get the most from Revital Ginseng Plus, how should it be taken? That's the only question. And don't forget to use that hashtag Revital. That competition closes midday on this coming Monday, the 3rd of August. And T's and C's can be found on our website, expressoshow.com.
But you got to buy something healthy, okay, from Take-A-Lot, like an ergo ball.
You
or
do,
something like
a
that, just
blender,
I don't
something
know.
like that.
Well, if you do need help, though, most importantly, please reach out. Anything affecting our mind and our mental well-being is serious business.
You know it, I know it. Every workplace has them. The colleague who knows exactly when it's time for a coffee break, the one with the snack stash for every opportunity, and the person who can turn a quick catch-up into a full-scale team meeting. But that's the beauty of a break, isn't it? It's the chance to step away from the screen, catch up with your crew, and enjoy a little moment of rusky business. Because sometimes the best ideas come when you're not working at all.
Oh, completely. I absolutely love it. And we were just talking to Doc now about creating balance and taking a break, making time to dip. And with Omar Rusk's Time to Dip, we are celebrating those simple breaks that give us a chance to pause, to recharge, and enjoy a delicious Omar Rusk with our favorite cup of tea or coffee, black coffee, you're allowed. And as that really amazing, funny actor does in the thing, if someone tries to stop you from your break, your voice has got to break. I'm having a break!
I'm having a break!
Okay, you got to just say it with conviction because you do need it. And also use it as an opportunity to look after each other, right?
I agree. I'm going to check in with Gray across the room, Ayanda across the country as well. Got to ask you though, ultimate office break personality, okay?
We're going to go there now.
The
hey?
options.
Okay, so, and this is going to be quite an interesting one, and apply this to your own office, okay? So we're going to now identify who and what we are in the context of a break time personality. Okay, are you the coffee addict?
I mean, raise your hand, Graham. It's you.
I am that guy. I probably drink twice as much coffee as most people
As
here.
most of us.
And most people here drink twice as much coffee as a
As the
normal
regular
person outside of.
So
I'm
you've
gonna
quadrupled.
I'm just dunking my rusk.
Ayana, there are options here. There's the coffee addict, the snack sharer, the 5-minute chatterbox, or the person who disappears for half an hour. Do you identify with any of these?
Oh my word, absolutely. I think that my biggest problem is that I probably tick all of the boxes. But anybody who knows me knows that I can throw together a full conversation in 2 minutes. So the 5 minutes is too lengthy. I'm definitely the 5-minute chatterbox. And I completely agree that G is addicted to coffee on that side. Carissa, where would you put yourself?
Exactly.
You know what? I'm going to identify with the snack sharer because
Okay.
I come
Yes,
to work
you
every
are.
day, cut an apple with peanut butter. Anybody want? Half a nachi, gave Brian my other half this morning.
Has anyone ever taken one of your bananas?
No, the bananas we
Why?
don't share. Do not share your bananas.
How long can you
That's
keep
for
a banana
individuals.
feasibly? How long can you keep a
it?
banana?
Me, I push the boundary.
Wow, we are talking months, man.
They
Petrified
come out
banana.
brown, but they sweeter.
Access that sugar quicker, man. Just on a flavour note.
Wow,
Okay, we
I've
have
been waiting for
flirting with
this.
our Melva pudding flavoured rusks for a few weeks now, and they haven't let us have them, okay? Someone did something right this morning, and now we've been allowed.
The smell alone.
They are so delicious. You don't understand, because you're trying to figure out how they're going to capture the Melva pudding, kind of the essence of. They nail it. They nail it. And it's a slightly sweeter rusk, which
It
I
is.
like. I like it as a desserty vibe.
But
I
because
like it
it's
a lot.
brown, it's healthy.
Uh-huh.
That's just the rule. I don't make it up. Okay, that's absolutely amazing. Ayanda, I hope that you're having some with your black coffee right now. She's enjoying. She's living her best life. She's not chattering for the next few minutes because she's taking a well-deserved break.
Having the time of my life.
I love it.
So every office has that person. So maybe we should use this as an opportunity to out. So that person who just disappeared. So you always look around.
I'm not saying
Can I say
anything.
Chadovsky? our sound engineer, because he's not there right now. I can't even find him. No, it's his day off. I'm sorry, boy. It's his day off. He is working hard on other things at the moment. But these office personalities, they create the context, the fun, the culture in our office. So lean into that sometimes. But most importantly, make it a part of the routine to break that cycle, have those little breaks, improve your effectiveness.
Right.
Okay? Rest is productive.
Rest is productive. And in that rest, you can even play a spot the difference game. We're just saying we are habit stacking at this point to make sure we're all well. Whether you are a quick dipper, professional break taker, today's the perfect day to put the work on pause and also make time for a little rusky business. Good one, hey?
And you've got the flavour to try. So please don't forget that you guys also stand the chance of winning your office. This is your team. A share of 150,000 individually wrapped Omar rusks. I just want to see them. You can head to omar.co.za. You can nominate your amazing office, complete the simple entry form, and then confirm your email address, and you're in. And those T's and C's do apply. And then you might get to see your share of 150,000 individually wrapped rusks.
My brain can't wrap its head around it. T's and C's, of course, apply. And as we said, rest is productive, and you all deserve to take a beautiful break.
Officially unavailable for meeting activities. I'm on a break. Andre! I'm on a break!
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
These conversations along this financial journey have been so rewarding. So well done for rejoining the conversation right now, because we're going to tackle, I think, a concept a lot of us really struggle with. One of the most common pieces of financial advice is to pay yourself first. But what does that actually mean? What does it look like? How can it help you build wealth over time? And how do we deal with that set against the pressures we face every day? Well, joining us to explain this in her beautiful, practical way is Carla Venter, a chartered accountant and financial educator who's made it her life's mission to empower us with the agency to take control. And I love that it generally starts with one small financial habit at a time. I can even feel the weight of the world on your shoulders as we broach this concept, because it's a get real kind of a question to broach. What should that look like? When I say pay myself, or immediately all my baggage and my emotional connection to money comes through. In the financial sense, how does that fit into our financial journey? How do we pay ourselves first?
So I think it can be really simple as once you get paid, you put money aside that is intended to pay yourself. And what do I mean with pay yourself first?
It's not rewarding yourself.
No,
it's not that.
no.
Okay, so let's move
No. That's not the money that you're going to spend on clothes or,
exactly.
The money that you're paying yourself first is money for your future self. That is the money that goes towards investments, or that goes towards putting up your emergency fund. And as soon as you get paid, you need to take that money out of your spending account and put it away into the dedicated account. Otherwise, you will be too tempted to spend it. And I often hear people say that, oh, by the end of the month, there's nothing left. But you need to start with, it doesn't have to be 20% so that you put away. You need to start with something that you put aside.
A step.
Put aside and don't wait until the end of the month because you are for sure going to spend it.
Why is this such valuable advice? Why does this algorithm have to kick in as early as possible?
Well, I mean, first of all, we need to think of compounding because if you can start making money work for you as soon as possible, I like thinking about it as your money tree. Your money tree is something that you give water, but it can grow seeds that goes into the ground and that continues growing more trees for you.
Themselves.
Otherwise, you're always just dependent on your salary and living, month to month.
The low-hanging fruit.
Yes, you need to start building those seeds so that they can get planted into the ground and grow more trees. And that is how compounding works.
And the joy of compounding is you can start small.
Exactly.
If you're living paycheck to paycheck, knowing how small or how big is and it's an intimidating question to ask if you aren't financially literate. So how do we work that out? Is there an equation that you kind of return to? What questions do we need to ask ourselves when making this assessment?
You actually need 20% of your after-tax paycheck dedicated towards your future self. And it can be in different forms. If someone, for example, goes back to they want to educate themselves, now they're paying to study again. That 20% is also your future self because that's increasing your earning potential. But
exponentially. So
yes, exactly.
It really is a gateway, yeah.
And you don't want to be in a position where you can't afford to go and study further. But putting money away towards investing and having money babies making more money babies, that is the idea of exponentially growing.
So a tax-free savings account feels like, based on the journey that you've given us, a great way, first foray, where it's almost a safer journey into starting to trade and looking for that kind of value. But what is the ideal first vehicle for that 20% or that money that I'm paying to myself first?
So once you've paid off your high-cost debt, that's something we need to get out the way first, right?
And that's always the first thing. And
Yes.
I'll speak from the experience of going through those hard yards. When you don't have to fork out that repayment that you've been making for the last 2-3 years, and suddenly that becomes a part of your capital flow and what you can use to be proactive, it is the best feeling in the world. Start with your aggressive debt first. Get the interest out.
Exactly.
Done.
And that's not your mortgage. A mortgage is typically mortgages.
That's good bank debt.
Exactly. That's a good asset that grows hopefully over time. But once you've got the high cost debt out the way, then you focus on building up your emergency fund, which is your buffer that protects you if something goes wrong. And that keeps you out of debt. You don't want to fall back into a debt cycle again.
I love the fact that you apply everything that you are teaching to yourself. So what are some of the major lessons you've learned? Maybe some of the pitfalls that we need to be aware of when looking at this paying ourselves first.
So I always want to tell you can take control of your finances. Don't feel like it is someone else's responsibility. Don't feel like, it's my husband's or my parents.
Exactly.
Or even an advisor's responsibility. You need to take control to understand what you're invested in, to understand what you're paying for, what you're getting, and what are your options? You can educate yourself on this topic. And, with AI being available, it's easier than ever to understand things better.
Yeah, we've got people in our corner. We've got tech in our corner.
Exactly.
There's new levels of visibility and oversight which are coming to bear. So it's not always a dark equation when we look at maybe we're not that technically advanced. Maybe we're not that financially gifted. I'm a performer. I'm not an accountant. But you still need to educate yourself so you can make those informed decisions. Maybe this is an emotional question. I'm going to relay something that came from one of our viewers here, and it really does hit the nail on the head. And this came from Nadine Boert. So thank you for being vulnerable for this one, because I think a lot of parents especially will connect with us. She says, I work hard, but by the time I've paid for rent, for transport, for groceries, for my children's needs, there is nothing left. Is pay yourself first really realistic for someone like me? How do we adjust our mindset?
So there are two things I would say is, obviously, if you're not earning a high enough income where there's no space for you to do anything, then you also need to focus on how you can increase your income. This is something that you need to actively work towards. And then the second thing is you can start small. You don't have to have a big amount to start putting something away. Even if it's a 50 Rand, start with putting that money away, because with time you become more confident and become more motivated as you see that grow.
Well, it validates itself in the most beautiful way, and building wealth starts with that understanding. It doesn't necessarily start with earning more. I mean, we can always hustle, but it starts with creating good money habits, the culture around money, and paying yourself first is one of the simplest, undoubtedly, but most impactful ways to do that. So if you'd like more practical, easy to understand financial advice, and I stress that, as she said, Carla is available. Give her a follow at Money with Carla on Instagram. She's got some great bite-sized little tips there. You'll find more on the Expresso platforms from her as well. But she is helping us to invest, to build wealth, to make smarter financial decisions. And just being able to make those decisions with confidence is a game changer for me. So Carla, thank you so much. You're a rock star. I'm glad we got you back from the greater diaspora back into the South African wealth system. But it's been an amazing journey. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Coming up, we get all the insights on the new Maggie chicken-flavored noodles, and we learn the science behind Woolworths cotton. See you after these.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, family. We still have a jam-packed show for you. Now, Maggie is undoubtedly one of South Africa's most recognized pantry staples. You can't tell me you don't know who they are. Having found its way into homes and hearts for generations with the new chicken recipe relaunch, Business Executive Officer for Food at Nestlé SA, Nital Soni Ramji, in our Feel Good studio, joins us today to tell us more about the new campaign and the newly improved chicken noodle flavor. Oh, I feel like I'm going to get hungry while we are doing this. How are you feeling, my love?
Lovely, and thank you so much for having me, Ayanda.
Of course. Now, we all know the Maggie brand. We've had it in our pantries. I know, especially during my university years, I knew Maggie. Can you tell us about how it's managed to stay so relevant over so many years?
Well, firstly, when you look at a brand, you have to look at a brand in its entirety. So yes. Maggie as a brand has been in not just South Africa, but it's been a global brand for many, many years. So really, it is about bringing together that strong equity, but remaining relevant by making sure what we bring consumers is what they need. So Maggi as a brand, from the time it started and its inception, really was about bringing good tasting food that met a need and very conveniently. Fast forward into many, many years later, it really is still about bringing convenient food that is really good at the right taste and flavor for the consumer. And that's how we stay relevant.
And you have it spot on. If something doesn't taste good, we will change. And I think the fact that you're constantly evolving is what adds to the longevity as well. And that's what we're talking about today. You've launched a new chicken flavor recipe. Tell us about this launch and what inspired it.
So part of the launch is really, if you look at the market today, tastes are evolving, consumers are evolving, and it's such a rapid pace.
Yes.
But we know we have something iconic in our chicken flavor, and we know that consumers love it because it's our #1 flavor and it's the best tasting flavor. Yes. What we've done is to stay relevant is we take a look at our competitors, we take a look at what are the different flavors in the landscape. And in fact, now using AI has made things a little bit more exciting. So we put it through AI. We looked at 5 senses, so taste, texture, aroma, and also herbiness and smell. And we've put together insights from the last 6 years of research, as well as this year, to come up with what we call a winning flavor, because it's chosen by consumers, but it was designed by AI.
That is amazing. I love how we're using exactly what 2026 has to offer us, and I'm really excited to taste it. Now, another amazing thing that you've done is you had a cook-off against the millennials and the Gen Zs. Please, can you tell me about this cook-off, what inspired it, and what you were hoping to achieve from having it?
I love this debate. It's really about taking Maggi from that kitchen cupboard onto the table, because that's where the debate happens.
Yes.
And it was really beautiful to see. What really inspired it is that in this world where so much is changing, sometimes we feel disconnected. I mean, even in a household, I think about my own family and the little kids that I have in my family. Sometimes I don't even know what they're saying.
Yes, I'm there as well.
It was taking this very relevant conversation about what's happening in a household, bring it to the Maggi table, and instead of having a conversation and commenting on it from the sidelines, being part of it. And it really is about staying in that conversation for Maggi as a brand. In order for us to exist for the next couple of years, we need to be part of the conversation.
Yes, I love it. Or at least try to be a part of the conversation, rather have them explain what all these new terms are. Talking about things that are forever changing, there are so many trends that are happening on TikTok. I mean, girl dinners are a thing. There are so many different ways that people are finding to feed themselves. How is Maggi moving to make sure that they are still seen by their consumers with all these trends that are happening?
I love this conversation a lot, because when we are part of a global organization, we get to see some of these trends, not just locally, we get to see them from a global perspective. And we've seen some of these trends evolving. Now it's about how do we bring these trends to South Africa. And if you talk about it, Maggi really is something that is convenient, because we have multiple formats now. We bring those formats into the household, into the workplace, because they're in a very convenient, it's conveniently packed. Yes. The other thing that we have to be a part of, and if you look at it today, is that tastes are starting to evolve where people are starting to experience the world closer to home.
Yes.
So how do we bring the world closer to home? And what's exciting about it is working on this global brand, you actually have opportunities that we can bring from other parts of the market. So I don't want to give too much away today, but there will be some things that we can look out for in the future. And the other thing that's quite exciting is that Maggi as a brand is not just about noodles.
Yes. I love that. I mean, we can get anything from Maggi that we need to spice up. And I'm thinking about your sauces. The fact that I can add them to everything and make something taste extra juicy. Just going back to that conversation between the millennials and the Gen Zs, why is it important that we have that conversation, first of all? And what are we hoping to pick up from it?
If I think about the conversation and why it's so important, is I mentioned it at the beginning, is that the world is starting to change and it's starting to evolve at such a fast pace. Sometimes the connection is not there. And the connection is the most important thing. If I think back to my own childhood, and I use this example, is that what drove the connection was coming together over a plate of food. And I use the example of actually my Saturday lunches with my mum, and she would make the same dish every Saturday. but around the table was not just my family that lived in the home, but my extended family.
Yes.
And what was so special about it was that distance, even though we didn't agree on certain things, that Saturday lunch was about bringing us closer together. And really where we are evolving to as a brand, it's not just about the product that we bring you. It's about the experience of coming together with the most important people in your life to create a memory. And it's over the simplest of things that just takes 2 minutes to cook.
And that is absolutely the beauty of food. Yes, it can taste amazing, but it brings us together. We share the stories that we want to share with each other and learn from each other. What a beautiful concept. Thank you, Maggie.
Thank you.
From one generation to the next, the way we eat may continue to evolve, but the joy of sharing a meal remains the same. As Maggie begins this exciting new chapter, it's inviting South Africans to rediscover the comforting taste they've always loved, now with an even more satisfying bowl of chicken noodles. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Well, that definitely stirred up an appetite over here, especially an appetite for fashion. Now, cotton, as we know, is a wardrobe staple, loved for its comfort, but also most importantly, its breathability and versatility. But have you ever wondered what goes into creating a quality cotton garment? From the fibers themselves to understanding labels like 100% cotton and responsibly sourced, there's a fascinating science behind the fabric, which is why we brought on the professionals, okay? Junior fabric technologist from Woolworths, Ofense Phala, joins us to unpack the story behind Woolworths Cotton. So welcome, Ofense, and thanks for being here.
For having me.
Of course. Okay, so fabrication. We know this to be key, especially as consumers know a little bit more about what they're putting on or into their bodies. So when it comes to choosing the garments, this is what I want to know from you. Why do you believe cotton remains one of the most popular choices when it comes to clothing?
I think cotton remains popular for a variety of reasons. Firstly, it's very versatile. So what I've brought with me here is garments that just show their versatility. We have men's underwear, women's underwear, kids' underwear, women's t-shirts, poplins, sleepwear, baby wear. That just shows the versatility of the garments. And all of those, with all that in mind, the benefits still stay the same. And it's also easy to take care of. And sorry, I just want to show this. So, it's easy to take care. They are easy to take care of, making them very good for people with busy lifestyles. And to top it all off, it's just an easy fabric that we've all grown up with. We love it, we know it, and we trust it as well.
We definitely trust it. I mean, it's breathable, like I mentioned in the intro, and like you said, so versatile as well. So we're now looking at labels when it comes to our food, when it comes to what we put in our body. And then sometimes it says 100% cotton. So what does the label really tell us about the product itself?
So 100% cotton just means simply that. So it just means that 100% of the fibers in that garment are made of cotton and nothing else. And that has a lot of benefits. Firstly, it's very breathable and absorbent, making it nice and cool to wear throughout the day, making it very comfortable. On top of that, it is very just very easy to wear. It is also excuse me.
No, you're good.
I'm just watching all of these things. It's lots of amazing garments.
Yeah, I'm imagining wearing them across seasons as well.
Exactly.
Like when it comes to summer,
all of that stuff as well. It's also very nice and easy to the skin. It's not going to irritate it, so it's very good for people with sensitive skin.
100%.
And it's just a very versatile garment as well.
Yeah, I mean, so many options are in front of us. I love the fact that we're even showing undies, because those are important. It's a fundamental of any outfit. And if we start there already feeling comfortable and breathable, then the rest of the outfit's so easy to build on as well. So by choosing our cotton products, you're supporting investment in Better Cotton's mission. That's what Woolies has said. A statement that they've put out there. So what exactly does that mean?
So Better Cotton is just a global initiative that focuses on improving the way that cotton is grown and produced globally, right? So it does it by a few things. So it works with farmers and communities to ensure that we use our natural resources more responsibly. They add sustainable practices throughout their supply chain, and the the livelihoods of the community and the farmers are used correctly. And they do that by multiple different aspects. So firstly, it's just by ensuring that they have fair working practices, and also just by ensuring that they are just empowering farmers to improve just the livelihoods of the environment and the people around them as well.
Of course.
So when our customers are purchasing our products, they're purchasing garments knowing that all of their funds are going to a more sustainable sourced cotton.
Right, because it's a full economy that we've got to make sure that everybody is good when it comes to it as well. So how do you identify, maybe when it comes to quality, a cotton garment, because they're not all created equally.
Exactly, yes. So for me, I look at if it is a combed versus a carded cotton. So a carded cotton just goes through the normal cotton making supply chain, whereas a combed cotton has an additional step. So now what that additional step does is that it just makes the fabric a lot smoother, a lot cleaner, and just nicer and a lot softer to the touch as well. So now throughout that process, what they do is they just remove a lot of the shorter fibers. They take out all the impurities that might have been left through the carding process, and they also just realign the fabric. So then that just makes the fabric a little bit better. And it's also a lot more durable. So it just gives our customers a lot more more of value for money, as it just lasts a lot longer as well.
Absolutely. And we know when it comes to Woolworths, it's the details that make the difference. So that really is it at the end of the day. So innovative fabric technologies, I mean, this is your realm, this is your spillion, we've got to talk about it. Do Woolworths, what do they have in place necessarily when it comes to customers having that long-lasting value? Like we said, season to season, we want to be wearing these T-shirts.
Of course. So we have something called Stay New, which is a finish that we add to all of our 100% cotton T-shirts and golfers. And what that does is it makes our garments look and stay newer for longer. So it has a nice cleaner surface, makes it softer, makes it smoother, and it just allows you to wear this beautiful chocolate piece or mustard piece for years to come. So for our customers, we just want to give them garments that last long, that are value for money, and that can extend their life cycle. And when they do extend that life cycle, all that just does is it lowers the amount of garments that are going into waste, so that also helps our sustainability as well.
Of course, and we've been talking about that too. We got to make sure that when it comes to fashion, we don't want to contribute negatively, and we also want our bodies to benefit from it at the end of the day. So, Ofense, thank you so much for joining us. I've been educated from carded to, what was that thing you said? To combed. My goodness, everything to do with cotton is what we're talking about. So please go ahead and discover all of this at Woolworths. It is their cotton clothing, their garments made from responsibly sourced cotton. And as you know, you could do so in-store, online, or head to the Woolworths app for more.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Well, look at that, the shortest of breaks, and you are finally back on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. The most exciting thing is that we're into the final hour, but of course, for the past two, we have covered everything to do with your mental health, your mental or brain fog that we want to get cleared out as we enter into a beautiful new month of August that lies ahead for us. And listen, on the way in this hour, we still have the Ndlovu Youth Choir that has to perform for us to take to the stage. Ayanda Tabete, of course, holding it down in Joburg, took us through what it takes to be on a global stage, and today they join us on our Expresso stage. We're really excited to get in not one but two performances by them, of course, the Ndlovu Youth Choir, critically acclaimed globally. And then, of course, in this hour, we've got to celebrate Disability Pride Awareness Month, and we get to sit down with an incredible individual, Nadia Ziggers, and we can't wait to get into her story to find out how she's overcome so many odds to stand 10 toes down to make sure that we are good when it comes to representing so many people across the spectrum. We look forward to all of that conversation as we head into the final hour of your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And of course, you know that Good Morning Post is still up, so let us know exactly your thoughts on it. That number 0630369649. With just a moment after 8 o'clock, let's delve straight into your national news headlines to keep you updated. Well, we start with Parliament's Section 89 impeachment committee that has resolved to appeal the Western Cape High Court ruling that temporarily halted impeachment proceedings against President Cyril Ramaphosa over the Phala Phala matter. Now, a majority of committee members supported the decision despite differing views, with legal teams now preparing to approach the Constitutional Court. The committee also agreed that the authors of the independent panel report need not testify, while further meetings next week will focus on outstanding procedural matters, including appointing evidence leaders and finalizing its terms of reference. In other news in our country, the Electoral Commission says it's fully prepared for this weekend's final in-person voter registration drive, and that's ahead of the 4th of November local government elections. Now, more than 48,000 electoral officials will staff nearly 23,700 voting stations that happens nationwide on Saturday and Sunday, giving eligible South Africans a final opportunity to register or update their details before the voters' roll closes. Now, the IEC says 620 political parties have registered to contest the elections, while online registration will remain available until the election date is officially proclaimed. Taking a look at your international news making headlines now, with the World Health Organization that has welcomed Uganda's progress in containing Ebola, but warns the country remains at risk while the outbreak continues in neighboring Democratic Republic of Congo. Now, Uganda has declared itself Ebola-free after recording no locally transmitted cases for 42 days, although the WHO says monitoring will continue following the discharge of an imported case on the 16th of July. The agency praised Uganda's response, but stressed the heightened surveillance remains essential, with more than 3,300 confirmed cases and nearly 1,500 deaths reported in the DRC. Meanwhile, rescue teams in southern Japan are continuing the search for survivors after a powerful magnitude 7.1 earthquake struck Kumamoto Prefecture, killing at least 18 people and injuring dozens more. Now, thousands remain in evacuation shelters as emergency crews walk through damaged buildings and widespread infrastructure disruption. More than 100 aftershocks have rattled the region, prompting authorities to warn residents to remain vigilant for further strong tremors and possible landslides. Now, power and water outages persist in some areas as relief efforts do continue. Well, let's close off with a feel-good story coming from Mzansi. South African luxury fashion house Expresso Africa is set to showcase its latest collection at Paris Fashion Week, and that goes down on the 28th of September, marking yet another proud milestone for local design. Founded by Laduma Nkolo in 2010, the internationally acclaimed brand is celebrated for its contemporary knitwear inspired by traditional Xhosa beadwork and culture. Proudly manufactured in Africa using local resources, Expresso Africa has become a powerful ambassador for African creativity and craftsmanship. Now, the Paris Showcase is expected to place South African fashion in the global spotlight once again, proving that homegrown talent continues to inspire, to innovate, and to turn heads on the world's biggest runways. Well, we'll definitely keep our eyes on that, and well done to Laduma once again. That's where we leave your news for this Thursday. Let's get your final bit of sports from Graham.
Let's dive right back in the water one last time this morning, and it's been a magical time, a golden time. In fact, South African swimmer Chandler Clough has become the most decorated athlete in Commonwealth Games history. He won a record 21st Commonwealth Games medal. That was after helping Team South Africa claim bronze in the men's 4x100 metre medley relay. And that podium finish now moving the Clough past Australian legendary swimmer Emma McKeon's previous record of 20 medals. Well done, Team South Africa, because we know it's a group effort, but well done, young man. Incredible. Now let's get back into WAFCON and more messages being sent. Ghana and Cameroon both opened their Women's African Cup of Nations campaigns with victories in their Group D. So Ghana beat tournament debutants Cape Verde 2-0, while Cameroon, they looked strong as well, edging out Mali 2-1 in a closely contested encounter. Then tonight, round 2 gets underway as Senegal face Canada, should be a cracker. And then Morocco, who looked very strong in their opening account, they take on Algeria. Of course, Banyana in action against the Ivory Coast tomorrow night at 7. Now let's stay in the footballing lane, but a broader footballing conversation that we had to get to. FIFA has now officially opened disciplinary proceedings against the Argentine Football Association. And that, of course, over the behavior of Argentina's players, their officials, even their supporters during this last World Cup. So the investigation includes allegations of team misconduct, as you can see playing out after that final against Spain, unsporting behavior, discrimination and breaches of order and security at the matches themselves. And FIFA has not yet confirmed what sanctions, if any, could be imposed, but I have a feeling we need to watch that space. Well, a massive space of void is going to be left now as in the wake of this story, Brazilian superstar Neymar has now announced his official retirement from international football. And what an impact. The 34-year-old ends his international career as Brazil's all-time leading men's goal scorer with 80 goals in 130 appearances. Imagine that. This is where Pele came from, guys. Neymar represented Brazil on 4 consecutive FIFA World Cups and won Olympic gold in Rio in 2016, which would have really mattered to that team. An incredible impact and legacy in football, so we certainly wish him well. But that's where we leave our sport for this morning. Let's get into the traffic one last time.
Well, thank you so much, G-Man. Let's head into your roads now. Out in Cape Town, the traffic in Milnerton is moving slowly on the N7 northbound, and that's approaching Bosmansdam Road and the off-ramp in Milnerton. Now, road users can expect delays and are encouraged to allow for additional travel time as you head out on your daily commute. Now, if you are headed to a petrol station, we want to show you exactly how you can get double the rewards with Shell.
Every fuel stop could be twice as rewarding. Fill up at Shell, scan your Shell V Plus rewards card, and pay using your ABSA Visa card to unlock double rewards through Shell V Plus rewards and ABSA rewards. Enjoy up to 60% real cash back, plus up to R1 per litre with Shell V Plus rewards when using your ABSA Visa card, depending on your rewards tier. 1 fuel stop, 2 rewards programs. Double the rewards.
Well, there you have it. For now, though, let's give you a final update when it comes to your weather across the country. All right, Polokwane, you are up first, where it's mostly sunny skies that will take over your side of town today. Temperatures start from a low of 6 degrees and then rises to that high, sitting at 24. As we look ahead, sunny skies continue to dominate with passing clouds. Now, tomorrow's daytime high, as well as Saturday, peaks at 21 degrees. Moving into Klerksdorp next, where you can take over, or at least taking over your day will be mostly sunny skies. 2 degrees is how you get started, and that does head into 22 as your high. Now, you can expect temperatures for the coming days to settle, in fact, at 22 degrees. That will last all the way through till Sunday, remaining clear of any rain. Let's see what Pretoria has to offer. Well, it's looking like a bright and sunny day for you. Temperatures range between a minimum of 7 and that max, well, it's sitting at 22. Sunful days are here to stay with daytime highs peaking at 21 degrees for the next 2 days. The City of Gold is up next. That's Johannesburg. On your side, you can expect plenty of sunshine for this morning, and it will last through to the evening. Temperatures range between a cold 4 and a warming high of 20 degrees. And as we look into the week, sunny skies define your days with daytime highs settling in those upper teens. And then out in Mbombela, today's forecast calls for mostly sunny skies. Your temperatures will climb from a chilly 11 to a high of 20. Now, tomorrow sees temperatures moving from a low of 7, rising to a high of 21, and that will be clear of any rain under some beautiful sunny skies. And then out in Bloemfontein, morning showers are expected before skies begin to clear on out. Your temperatures will sit between a freezing -1 and a high at 17. Now, you can expect sunny skies to continue on heading towards the weekend with cool to pleasant temperatures throughout. From the beautiful Bloem, we head into Richards Bay next, where scattered showers are forecast at 40% throughout your Thursday. Now, your temperatures will range between 14 and 21 degrees. Now, cloudy and wet conditions will continue on into the coming days with rain chances averaging around 33% for the week. All right, Durban, on your side of town, you can expect rain chanced at 25%, accompanied by noticeable southwesterly winds. Temperatures move between 14 and 21 degrees. Now, tomorrow's forecast calls for partly cloudy skies with humid conditions and rain, well, it's chanced at 25%. In Tata, on your side, rain can be expected today, forecast at just 10%. Your temperatures range between a nippy 4 degrees and a high sitting at 15. Now, the coming days bring you sunny skies with lingering clouds, while daytime highs move between 16 and 21 degrees. Uba, morning clouds will give way to afternoon sunshine on your parts. Temperatures move between a cold 1 degree and a high sitting at 17. Now, sun-filled skies are set for tomorrow with temperatures remaining pleasantly cool, reaching that high sitting at 18 degrees. That brings us to Kugompo City, where your Thursday ushers in rain at 25% under cloudy skies. Now, your temperatures will range between 9 and double up to 18 as your max. And as the day does progress, partly cloudy skies will turn sunny, clear of rain, with temperatures holding up steady throughout. And then out in Ebeja, GQ, partly cloudy skies are on the cards for you today. Temperatures will start from a low of 9 degrees, and then the daytime high, it's sitting at 19. Now, there will be a mix of sunny and light cloudy conditions that are set for the upcoming days. Tomorrow's temperatures will range between 9 and 20. And then in the gorgeous George, mostly sunny skies will define your day today. Temperatures will range between 7 and 18. As for tomorrow, it brings partly cloudy skies with daytime highs sitting at 19 degrees, which of course is just 1 degree warmer than today. And then out in Cape Town, Mother City, a bright sunshine-filled day lies ahead for you. A nice change of weather there. Temperatures will sit between a chilly 11 and that highs coming at you at 21 degrees. Now, sunny skies will turn cloudy by tomorrow, heading into the weekend, but temperatures will be maxing at 22 degrees. And then out in Southern, partly cloudy conditions are expected across your region today. Temperatures range from a biting 1 degree to a daytime high, sitting at 16. Looking into the week, cloudy conditions take over the coming days, with daytime highs ranging in those upper teens. That brings us over to Kimberley. Let's see what's going down on your side. Skies are set to remain mostly sunny throughout your Thursday, with temperatures starting from a cold 1 degree and rising to 19. Now, sunny skies are set to dominate the remainder of the week, with warm temperatures and humid conditions continuing on. And then finally, we pull up to Uppington with a good deal of sunshine that is forecast for you today. Now, you can expect a chilly morning low of 3 degrees that warms up to a high sitting at 24. Sunny skies do define the days ahead, clear of rain, with tomorrow's temperatures ranging between 3 and 25 degrees. Well, we hope that you've taken note of all the different temperatures across your region. And as we get into that 8 o'clock morning sunshine view, let's recap what happened at 6 and 7. We started out in KZN in Westville, in fact, with Charmaine Blackburn that really set the bar super duper high with this beautiful morning view, just showing us that winter may be chilly, but it also is something to be marveled at. Thank you for repping KZN so well. Up next, we headed into the Western Cape, another beautiful province, and then out in Paarl, where Cleo Pfeiffer captured this morning's scene. Beautiful, Cleo. I heard Graham whisper that this is one of his favorite parts of the world. So thank you for also reminding him to take a visit to Paarl very soon, Cleo. We appreciate that. And then sticking in the Western Cape, we head to Cape Town next, out in Pelican Park. Our final sunrise view comes from Ismail Khalife. And thank you for getting in touch with that morning mist, just approaching the mountains over the grass, bringing in that morning dew. And thank you for reminding us that every single corner of Mzansi is definitely something to capture. And if you would like to take a photo of where you're from, please go ahead and do so. 063-036-9649. That's the number that we can reach, or you can reach to us on about, as we get into a wonderful performance. Now, this is how you get into the final hour of your Feel Good Breakfast Show. A performance by the Ndlovu Youth Choir comes up.
With their first performance on the Feel Good Breakfast Show, please give a warm round of applause for the Ndlovu Youth Choir as they perform Goma. Take it away!
Sijabulile unyaka musha, sihlangene sisekhaya la. Sijabulile unyaka musha, sihlangene sisekhaya la. Ay ay yahu, ay ay yahu, ay 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 nesinibe ya. Ay ay yahu, ay ay yahu, ay 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 unyaka musha.
Tussen nuwe jaar, ons is deur mekaar. By bokkie maak die cider sonder suiker. Tussen nuwe jaar, ons is deur mekaar.
Koti agaleti na lo kompoti. Zeker was het wel jou heen. Zeker was het wel jou heen. Zeker was het wel jou heen. Wat zal je mama daarvan zeggen? Dan komt ons zo onder de man. Dan komt ons zo onder de man. Dan komt ons zo onder de man. En dan is het que você sabe.
it's true. It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and welcome back. Thanks for joining us on this wonderful Thursday as we continue to celebrate Disability Pride Month. We're so thrilled to welcome an inspiring content creator who's changing perceptions one post at a time. Now, Nadia Zegers is using a platform to champion disability awareness, but also confidence and inclusion, while showing the world what a visual impairment that is just another part of a remarkable story. Now, through a very honest and uplifting content, she's encouraging others to embrace possibility, but also to celebrate authenticity and never let labels define us. So let's take a look at one of the most important moments in her life before we get to know her. Roll it to her wedding. Let's see.
Okay. Hi guys. I am about to walk down the aisle, do my first, I'm not gonna cry. This is the OOTD and it's got pockets and oh my god, I'm gonna cry. Not gonna cry. I'm about to tell my aunt become a missus, and I guess the next time you see me, I'm going to be a whole wife. So yeah, Ryan, I will see you soon.
Oh my goodness, it's hard to even think that that was just April this year. Let's give her a feel-good welcome, everybody. Our wifey for lifey. Welcome to it, and thanks for joining us here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
My goodness, okay, so we have been celebrating Disability Pride Month and have had remarkable stories come on through and people sit on our couch. So what does this month actually mean to you, Nadia, if you can take us through that?
So besides July being my birthday month, I love that it's Disability Pride Month. I think it's a time for the disabled community to really celebrate how far we've come. It's also a reminder for us as a society and South Africa. Yes, we've done a lot for inclusion and equal rights, but we still have a long way to go. And I think this month, and I wish that it would go beyond July, and hopefully that can be our goal for the future, is really just to have meaningful conversations about disability, about how we can include people with disabilities in everyday aspects of society. And I'm just grateful for this opportunity to speak about it and hopefully get the message across that we can talk about it not just in July. Yeah, that would be amazing.
Well, this is the start of it, you know what I'm saying? And also the way you've used your platform to make sure that conversation is normalized. And we can bring this up with your questions without judgment, of course. But you live with a visual impairment. And I think you've challenged so many misconceptions that people might have, which is so beautiful to actually carry across. So what is one thing that you wish more people would understand about disability?
I think growing up with a disability, so I developed my disability when I was 7, so I've lived with a visual impairment for 21 years. I'm giving a little bit of my age away. But,
you're still young, girl.
And I grew up in Grassy Park, proudly Grassy Park, and what in my experience I've noticed that in black and coloured communities there is still so many stereotypes and discrimination around disability. I mean, I once had a conversation, and this was when I wasn't as confident about speaking about my disability, and I was very emotional about it. And someone said, they asked about my story, and they said if they were ever to have a disability, they wouldn't want to live anymore. And because I didn't feel comfortable speaking about my disability, I didn't answer. But the biggest misconception is that people with disabilities live a lesser quality of life. And I think that's what encouraged me a lot to post on social media, is to show that people with disabilities, in spite of their disabilities, can still live full, meaningful lives. And you're so much more than your disability. And yes, it took a lot for me to get to that mindset, and I'm still a work in progress when it comes to that, or get out of that victim mentality as to why me, and to really ask myself, like, what is this teaching me? What is my message? Trying to, who can it reach? And I especially target my message at the youth, because growing up, there wasn't a lot of representation of people with colour and people with disabilities speaking on the topic. And there's a great organisation in my community that helped me a lot with that. And I want to be that, because if I want to see it more in the media, in social media, why not start with me?
100%. You know this, representation matters. So for young people that are seeing your content online that maybe have a similar struggle, or their story kind of finds alignment in some sort of way, you are helping them with every single thing that you put out there, which is probably why you decided to share your story online. So is that what inspired you? Was it the education? Was it just to share your story? Was it to encourage others?
So I do a little bit of motivational speaking, and I work with quite a few organizations. And what I realized, especially with a lot of the youth, is that they don't have the support structure or encouragement or the tools to help them realize that they can do anything they want to. And I was raised by an incredible single mom. I have an incredible supportive husband, my sisters, my family and friends. I had an incredible support structure. And they really just showed me how to be independent and that I could achieve anything I put my mind to. But not a lot of people have that. And social media is such an incredible platform. Yes, it can sometimes not be the greatest because people hide behind usernames. But through social media, I want to reach out to the next person and be like, you can, and you do have a support system.
Sure.
And I encourage people to DM me, to get in touch with me if they need a little bit of encouragement, because that goes a long way.
And girls, for me, I love that you're sharing your outfit of the day. You know what I'm saying? Beyond everything else, she's inspiring the fashionistas out there. But I did want to take a moment. Your hubby's here today.
Yes.
Your hubby joined us here today. So shout out to that network, community and support structure. It is so beautiful. There are people watching right now that need that encouragement, that maybe are feeling a bit down in the dumps, not sure which direction to go, what the next step could be for them. So what encouragement would you give? I know you said it took you a minute to get to your story here today. What would you tell them to just get them going for today alone?
I think it's to surround yourself with people that uplift you.
Yeah.
And that speak positivity into your life. I would like to take all the credit for the fact that I am my most confident self today, but it's not. It was because of the people I surrounded myself with. It's because I had faith and I did a lot of inner work and for the youth and even parents with kids with disabilities. Please encourage them to be as independent as they can be. Yes, disabilities are vast and varied and everyone's limitations are different, their challenges. But if you can just push them, because society already has so many challenges and barriers for people with disabilities, and I've experienced this as I entered the workforce, that just to find people that actually uplift you, and hopefully I can be that safe space for someone, even if it's just online, or encourage other people, because if my message can just come across to one person, that would be amazing.
You've done your job.
Yeah.
And thank you for doing such a great job at that as well. I love that you've even touched on the accessibility in the workplace and in the everyday, because we do have a long way to go, and hopefully this conversation has prompted some people to start thinking about that as well. Nadia, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Listen, she's glowing. She is glowing. That new wife life is so apparent on her, and shout out to your community for holding you down in every single way.
Thank you so
this
much.
gorgeous, gorgeous girl, of course, her social media will remain on our platforms as well, so that you can go ahead and support and give her a follow. So thank you so much as we celebrate Disability Pride Awareness Month. And we said it's not only this month, but every day going forward.
If you don't mind, my dear, I'm going to kick this one off because
Please
I have
go
a
ahead.
feeling the dads out there might need to have a very strong voice in this conversation right now. The strongest friendships are built on showing up for one another. Our lads have proven that to each other. The sisters do it for each other, especially when it matters most, when you've got to kind of put your character on the line. So on this International Day of Friendship, comedian, actor and good mate of our show, Anton Taylor, is being quite vulnerable this morning. He joins us to reflect on why he chose to very publicly stand alongside LGBTQIA plus learners in his hood during the recent Pride flag debate at Bishop's. And we say debate, it's raging on. There was no official debate. It's happening, and this is the kind of conversation we actually embrace. This is what allyship, this is what brotherhood should actually look like until it's your child. This is why we love having you here, kid. Ooh, can you feel I'm nervous to have this conversation with you, man?
Well, man, I just want to say, as always, such a pleasure to be here. And I just think so much kudos to you guys. For this is how we begin to heal. This is how we begin to come together, is through talking and seeing each other as humans. You know, and I think at the moment what's dominated this so-called debate, but more like a dispute or power play, is people shouting and trying to enforce people's ways instead of just listening and seeing the other as a human being.
That's right. Anton, well, thank you for joining us this morning. Let's get into it, actually. Many South Africans did follow this conversation, I will call it that, about this pride flag at Bishop's. So what made you decide to take this on with your platform and publicly speak on it?
Who pushed your button, kid?
Who pushed? You know, there are gay men and gay women whom I love, right? And I'll tell them, man, like, I love you. And I just, for me, you know, one thing I'll say about my school, and my parents and my school told me, you speak up for something when
character.
it's wrong. Yeah, for what's right or wrong. And I thought that targeting gay students, which I felt that the All Boys Union was doing, I thought that was wrong. And I knew that I would lose some friends, but I was like, guys, I have to speak up.
It's all good and well. We can have opinions. We can stand on character when it's not our child, when it's not our school. But when you've got to take that step beyond, it becomes very challenging. I would imagine you've had some sleepless nights, because as much as, you're out there on your soapbox driving, this is still your school, your brothers. What has it been like going back into that space? How much has changed since you and I were at school, kid?
So one thing I want to say, the school itself, I think, is in a great position. I'm really happy with what the school's doing. It's just some of the old boys and who I think have kind of outdated beliefs. But going back in there has been interesting. And, you know, for me, I'm used to noise on social media in terms of, you know, the trolls and whatnot. But it's the guys that you're friends with, your brothers that you've known for now 20, 25 years. And losing some of those friendships, you know, has been hard. That has been tricky. But at the same time, the school, you know, the guys need to get with the program.
That's right.
You know?
At some point. Wait, Anton, so for some people, they might be scratching their head saying, what are you talking about?
Yes.
You're mentioning a flag, you're mentioning a school. How does this come together? Old boys. So what actually is going on?
In a nutshell, the Bishop's Old Boys Union, known as the OD Union, their job's to organize reunions and, like, you know, bring the old boys together. They've decided they want to try control the school, and they wrote a letter on behalf of all old boys, sent it to all the old boys saying, we demand that the pride flag, which gets flown for 2 or 3 days a year, in June, that it be taken down. And that's...
Was there a rationale presented for this argument?
Well, they specifically targeted the pride flag. They said, we just think that there should be neutrality, but the school flies about a dozen other cause flags, cancer, GBV awareness, anti-racism. They didn't mention any of those flags. They singled out the pride flag, and their dialogue and discourse around it has really suggested that they really couldn't handle 2 or 3 days of a pride flag.
The homophobia was loud.
It was loud.
Yeah, it's about 20 years in the past. Now, I'm one of those guys. I come from a very masculine background. I fought my whole life. I'm rugby captain. I played gay roles on TV. I've had to kiss a man and a role, which I was able to firsthand discover that I'm definitely not gay, because it was quite a challenging experience. But I loved, after that fact, a whole lot of magazines started phoning me to ask if I'd been in some gay film with this and that, and try to create this drama. Like that was the drama.
Yeah.
And I couldn't, so I just left it as open as possible because I just thought about the younger version of me. What if I was gay? How would I feel if the whole world turned against me in that moment? What if my son comes to me, my daughter comes to me, and that's her life path? You've got to be able to stand up. Easy when you're emotionally invested. There is a line here. What is that line that we need to set here? Because this is you standing up for everybody else.
Yes.
And maybe that's the point that we're at now. We've got to go beyond just ourselves and think about the bigger picture.
And this, I think the bigger picture goes even beyond the gay or queer community. It's about anybody who's ever felt disenfranchised, you know, excluded, anyone who's ever felt unwelcome. And no matter what people say, we still live in a society where people with certain differences, disabilities, and I'm obviously not saying orientations, I just know is a disability, but anyone who's different or perceived as weaker in certain communities gets bullied. And I think that is the line that everybody deserves to feel welcome and included, and everybody deserves to feel happiness. And
It's a human right. And you're right. When it comes to minorities, sometimes you need a voice beyond yours who's societally acceptable to stand up for you and say certain things. So thank you for your allyship as well to come through and use your platform for good.
And thank you for having me.
No, of course. Okay, so today is International Friendship Day as well, as we know. For you, what does being an ally really mean?
You know, I think firstly, it comes to like listening and seeing people, you know. So before I made these statements, I messaged some gay guys that I really care for, and I said, what do you think of this? How do you feel? And they were like, yeah, man, it really upsets me. It really hurts me that this is happening, you know. So I think it starts with seeing people, hearing them. But I think if you're lucky, like we kind of, we're like dudes who have what I would say social power, you know, because life's been kind of, I don't want to say easy for us, but we're like boy cheese, and that allows us certain privileges and power. And I think it's about using your power and privilege to speak up for those who don't have that same voice in society.
That's 100%. You want to lean on the brand of character and alpha male and stoicism and everything else that comes with it. That's about how you act when no one else is watching, when you aren't invested in the outcome. That's character. It's that baseline that we have to maintain. And as men, we have to have this conversation. That's the joy of this. You want to push back? Just start talking about it, man.
Anton, thank you for joining us this morning. Listen, we lead with empathy, okay? And we lead with respect and where it matters most with allyship, because we do all have the power to build a stronger and more inclusive society going forward, just one step at a time. So thank you for using your platform for
You know what? I feel so good right now. I'm going to bake cheesecake. After this, I'm going to bake you a Basque cheesecake. We'll see you now. One more.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It's official. It's a cheesecake dance for a cheesecake day. It is actually National Cheesecake Day. It's a day we celebrate it, and what better way to mark this auspicious occasion than with a truly exceptional cheesecake. So, of course, we had to bring in the big guns. Woolworths Taste Food Director Abigail Donnelly to make her signature cheesecake and hopefully teach us along the way.
I hope so. Yeah.
I hope so. I'm trying to add as much gravitas to this day because it's cheesecake and the humble cheesecake.
Yes, every day is cheesecake day for me. This cheesecake, you cannot cheat. Don't go low-fat cream cheese.
Okay, don't play.
Go the full Monty, full-fat cream cheese. And this one from Woolies is just like
it's gorgeous.
Extraordinary.
Because there's luxurious mouthfeel and all those sorts of things.
Yes,
but I'm looking
look
at your cheesecake, Abs, and it looks slightly different. So give us some context.
Oh, I'm glad you said it doesn't look burnt. Because that's
Isn't it
exactly
supposed to?
what it is supposed to be. That is a good characteristic of a Basque cheesecake from the north of Spain.
Basque being the Spanish influence.
Absolutely, yeah. So let's see how we can put this on. I should have checked first because it's a bit different to mine at home. So I've just got caster sugar there. This cheesecake has no crust, no biscuit crushing needed. All it has is cream cheese, cream, a few eggs, a touch of salt, some caster sugar, and I always add a little bit of vanilla extract.
Just a bit of a...
In the oven, 30 minutes, and you've just got the most incredible cheesecake.
I love that. And to be quite honest, because my mom made just a beautiful, and this is how I would speak to my mother very often over the sound of mixer. She made the most beautiful fridge cheesecake, which I love. So I don't judge. But there is something quite special about the cheesecake in itself. Why do you think it has such a special place in cuisine?
I just think it's like it's kind of like it has a it's kind of basic. It's got all the textures and the flavors, that beautiful smooth mouthfeel, but then you can add things to it.
You can elevate it.
You can add crunch and different textures, and you can add fruit, and you can drip it with chocolate or salted caramel. It takes on, it's that neutral kind of like dessert.
It's a perfect sounding
that everybody loves, yeah. And I love a fridge cake. I love condensed milk, cream cheese, or ideal milk.
And it can be quite zingy in that sense.
Yes.
So when we're baking, and with this particular tradition in mind, what do we have to get right?
So the cream cheese needs to be room temperature.
Okay.
So that you don't over whisk it as well. Eggs, room temperature. I always like to do room temperature eggs, and good quality vanilla. That is like, because you're not adding any other flavors. So you just got to get that pure flavor and that mouthfeel. So what I love about also this Basque cheesecake is it has to have that jiggle inside, so that when you cut it, you can take a spoon and it's like cream. It's just like
It's almost like it pulls back just a little bit. It's almost like it doesn't want to release the spoon to you. It's just trying to hold on to you a little bit.
And Graham, you can see this paper isn't just for styling effects. That kind of lets it cook slower.
Okay.
Okay, so that it doesn't kind of burn around the edges. Sometimes I add, if I want to be a little bit more decadent, to this mixture I add a slab of good quality 70% melted dark chocolate.
Ooh.
So that is also something that the listeners could actually do.
And when would you incorporate that? Obviously, because you're working from hot into cold, so you've got to be quite careful how you... At what part of the process, or is it simple?
It's fine, because your chocolate is never going to be... You melt it. You're never going to boil a slab of chocolate. So you're not going to curdle the eggs or anything.
So again, quite forgiving. You can look like you really do know what you're doing and get quite experimental, because it is so forgiving.
Exactly. And I suppose if you wanted a crust, some people like a crust. I wouldn't kind of complicate those like textures. And the trick is as well, make it absolutely smooth, as you can see.
I suppose once again, because it's the purity of just this. So we're not going to have too many contrasting textures here. I quite like this. This really does almost stand alone in the cheesecake family as its own thing.
Exactly.
And I like
Look
that.
at that. And then just 2 layers of grease-proof paper. Don't use wax, otherwise you're going to be in trouble when you get it out.
Okay.
And then just pour
2
all
layers
that in.
grease-proof
Look at that.
paper. We want room temperature cheese. We want room temperature eggs.
Exactly.
Okay.
And there we go.
I mean, look at the, what would you call that? The peak, the reverse peak.
Yes, that's like for me.
You know.
I won't do it. I'm on
Then
TV. I
you
would have done it if I
know.
was at home. And then another little jiggle, Graham. And then you pop it in the oven for 30 minutes. And don't be scared because it's going to be kind of like, oh, I'm going to cut it and it's going to run all over
for
my
sure.
table.
Yeah.
But it's going to have the most amazing characteristics of that.
It looks exquisite.
And I like to serve it in this paper. I like a little bit of
I almost
rustic
think you have
styling.
to. I think you have to do that. Give them the full value of the experience.
And that's
here.
exactly how they sell them in Spain, with the paper, yeah. And then you just slowly pull that back. And I mean, just touch the top there.
I can imagine that. Oh, wow, that's
look
got
at
some
that.
pushback.
Shall we cut it open?
Please do. This is exquisite. I
I'll
can
cut it
imagine
this
in the
way
little
then.
cafes and the little delis there as they bring these out and open them up.
Look at that.
And just watch the slices disappear.
Exactly. With a good cup of strong espresso. Do you want to pass me that plate? Because I think you
Wow.
deserve the first slice.
That looks exquisite.
And look, I'm going to do this because I want to show everybody
The full scope.
how to do that. And then, yeah, look at that. And then you can just see the creaminess of it. Look at that. It's just like absolute
and it
heaven.
carries through. You've got a bit of a textural ombre, if that makes
Exactly.
any
Look at
sense.
that.
But you've got... And I can see what you mean. You do want that contrast in textures.
Taste.
Wow. You could have served me this, you know, I'm just saying. You could have...
I think that's a winner for Cheesecake Day.
Wow, my knees went a little bit weak there.
You're also doing the jiggle.
That is absolutely, I call it the swiggle, where you've got a bit of a wiggle and a jiggle. If you've got a bubba, you know the swiggle, okay? You know how to bounce and wiggle at the same time. That is exquisite, and I'm not a sweet tooth, so I always need something that just hums. Kind of has that flavour layer beneath it.
And it's not too sweet. I mean, it's,
Not at
and you can get the
all.
vanilla, and I think it's a winner.
If you like cheesecake, you will honestly eat this whole thing in one sitting. We haven't sacrificed anything for the purity. If anything, we've enhanced that. The intrinsic value of a cheesecake. You're a genius. Thank you so much
Thanks,
for
Graham.
traveling the world, hitting the northern regions of Spain to bring us back a little bit of this Basque flavor. But this is magical. There is no sweeter way to celebrate National Cheesecake Day than with a slice of your very own homemade cheesecake. Do this. It is amazing. Shop all of these first-class, world-class ingredients for your cheesecake at Woolies right now. Available in-store, online, or using their amazing Woolies app. And you'll get lots of inspiration there as well. But if you want to cook along, bake along, find this recipe on expressoshow.com. I could honestly eat the whole thing. One more.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back, family. Now we are about to experience the final performance from the Ndlovu Youth Choir. Let's listen up to their rendition of Shosholoza. Let's take it away.
Shosholoza, Shosholoza, Ulezontaba, Stimelas, Kumesauta, Shosholoza, Shosholoza, Ulezontaba, Stimelas, Kumesauta, Ruamabega, Wenuyabalega, Ulezontaba, Stimelas, Kumesauta, Ruamabega.
Paramani ma South Africa, Sabelani Sianmema, as we invite you to our shows at Teatro Monte Casino. Our show starts tonight on the 30th until Sunday the 2nd. Please don't miss your tickets. Get your tickets, are selling fast at Ticketmaster. Get your tickets, get your tickets. Paramani ma South Africa, Tangeni Mkalanyoni, Siamangeni, Chess, get your tickets. Chess.
Shosholoza, South Africa.
Chess.
Ending it off perfectly. That was amazing. What amazing talents. You do not want to miss this show starting today until Sunday at Monte Casino Theatre. Get your tickets at webtickets.co.za. Woo!
Oh, I love it. Okay, major FOMO. I love that for you, Ayanda, that you got that, but we love the Ndlovu Youth Choir, their vibe. It's the energy they bring into the space. So more power to them. We want to see the full ensemble, please. Coming down to Cape Town. Got to check in. It's been a crazy show today.
Sure.
It really has been so positive, so many kind of moments to reflect, and friendship being the dominant theme. So if you haven't done it already, maybe connect with that person, a new friend, an old friend, whoever it is. Show some love and appreciation. You never know what someone is going through.
It's true. It's International Friendship Day, so send a message out there and let the people know that you're thinking about them, that they're seen and they're loved, just like we see and love you every single day, Expresso fam. Thank you so much for joining us today. But before we wrap it up, let's get straight into it.
I have a feeling you're going to miss your friends right now. We put it to you guys, exactly that question. How you feeling about your friends? Is that person who made the impact? Let's see how Blair is feeling.
Denise Blair.
Denise Blair. Thank you so much for weighing in this morning. Good morning. I met my oldest friend in grade O. We became friends and realized we stayed a block away from each other. 55 years later, we are still the best of friends. I can beat that,
55 years? You can
No,
beat
I can't.
55?
No, it was grade 1. Mark Gavin, the OG. What does he have to say?
Good morning, Jerome de Rocha. We started our friendship as signwriters, apprenticeship, clubbing together and still go swimming at Retreat Swimming Pool every Tuesday morning. Shout out to Mark and Jerome.
I love that. Ayanda G. Tabete, we love you, friend. Thank
See
you
you,
so much for
bestie.
running the show up there. She's had her fun, and we're going to see you guys. I'm going to say my oldest friend, Greg Pace. We met in grade 1 when he fell off a jungle gym, and I picked him up and took him to the infirmary. We love you guys. Have an amazing day. We'll kickstart the weekend tomorrow. Adios.
Another feel-good production.